Howdy ho, Reba. I made you a bun cake for your party tonight. The Germans call it Bunt. Oh, those funny Germans. So, what time should I be here tonight?
The cake can stay, but you gotta go. This party is business, as in none of yours.
Yes, but like so many things, I've made it my business and prepared a speech to give to your clients. Reba is not just the best real estate agent in town. She's also my best friend. I do not know what I would do without her. Sometimes I lie awake at night and I thank God that her husband made a pass at me.
I bet God really loves to hear from you. Hey! Oh! Cheyenne, how was your 12-step meeting?
Reba, those meetings are anonymous. She's not supposed to talk about them.
Oh, no, I can talk about my meetings, and they're going really well. I mean, like, really, really, really well. I don't know why, but I don't feel the need to drink at all. So how was your day?
Give me that thing. Oh! What do you think you're doing?
I'm smoking. Look, it's no big deal. I'll quit before it affects my looks.
I'm a little more worried about your health and the health of everybody around you. Well, almost everyone.
Okay, look, I do not think smoking is that bad for you. I think tobacco's a vegetable.
Cheyenne, take it from me. It is not worth it. I mean, sure, you look cool and sophisticated, you know, especially if you got a sterling silver case and a holder like I did.
Wait, you used to smoke?
Pack a day. And I'm telling you, smoking makes you a social pariah. Nobody wants anything to do with you.
Are you sure they knew you smoked?
Ha, Fraulein.
Okay, look, I know it's bad for me, but it helps me not want to drink.
Honey, if you're having a hard time with this, maybe I shouldn't have this party for my clients. I mean, there'll be a lot of drinking there.
No, Mom, look, I told you, I cannot live in some fake world and pretend that alcohol doesn't exist. I just need to smoke right now to help me get through this.
Look, let's work something out. Cheyenne, I'm sure if you quit smoking, Reba will let you have a snort now and then.
No! She will not smoke and she will not drink. As for you, you can smoke and drink. Go skydiving for all I care.
I bet she's the life of Oktoberfest.
My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
Hey, Mrs. H.
Oh, Van, good. I'm just finishing you up a grocery list.
Sorry, don't have time. We got our party later on, and I still have to work on my conversational pieces.
Conversational pieces?
Hey, it's hard work being witty. And I don't want to step on my tongue like the last party. I don't know why pregnant women get so touchy when you ask them when they're due.
That's because she wasn't pregnant. And she wasn't a she.
Well, I'm pretty sure he was wearing maternity pants.
Van, look, Cheyenne's going through some stuff.
Yeah, I know. Watch her like a hawk.
I was going to say...
Be supportive, I know, I got it. Man, you take stuff so seriously.
Stop it! It's just that I'm worried that she's having a harder time with all this than we thought she would. Now, we need to be aware and pay attention to what she's going through.
Man, Mrs. H, life does not have to be a constant. Grr, look at me, I'm Reba. What obstacle do I have to overcome today? Just go with it, man. Man, Cheyenne, your mom's got a bug up her nose. She's all over me how I should be watching you like a hawk and what a tough time you're going through. And grrr, I'm Reba. You know how she is.
Wait, why are you supposed to be watching me? Was she asking about my drinking again?
Yeah, like I don't pay attention. I should have been, look, red. I'm her husband. I got this. I know what she's up to, but I didn't. You know why? Because I'm afraid of her.
You know, starting to get on my nerves. I mean, you admit that you have a problem, you take the steps to deal with it, and then all of a sudden everybody treats you like you're a completely different person. You know? Why? Can everyone realize that I'm just the same old Cheyenne as I always was?
Exactly. I realize it because I'm aware. Hey, can I have one of those vitamins? Give me a Wilma and a Dino. You know what? I had a Dino yesterday. Make it a Barney.
No, Dan, those vitamins are not for you.
Are those chick vitamins? Will I grow boobs?
No. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something, but you cannot repeat it. It's called disulfiram.
You're right, I can't repeat that.
It's a prescription medicine for alcoholics. Makes you violently ill if you drink alcohol.
A pill that makes you sick if you drink? Well, doesn't that ruin drinking?
Well, that's the point. It's called Booze Away.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I know that if I have one of these, I can't have a drink.
So why are you hiding them from your mom?
Because I don't want her to find out. She's been on my case about everything. She's always snooping around, looking for signs of trouble. So promise me, Van, if she asks you as far as you're concerned, those are just vitamins.
Got it.
Thank you, honey.
Have you always smoked?
Hey guys, listen. It's about Cheyenne. You know, I think we should all be impressed that she hasn't had a drink in 2 weeks.
Hey, I haven't peed in 6 hours.
But when somebody gives up something like Cheyenne has done, well, sometimes they do other things. Things that we might wish they weren't doing.
Like what?
Well, like, for instance, smoking.
Smoking what?
Cigarettes. I just wanted to make sure that you guys weren't going to look at Cheyenne smoking and think, oh, wow, she looks so cool. Maybe I should try that.
Oh man, that last sip caught me off.
Did you honestly think I'd start smoking just because Cheyenne is?
You know, I just didn't want for you to be curious about cigarettes and for that to lead to you trying them. Here, you want to take a look?
I've seen them before, Dad.
These are nasty little buggers. I know how seductive these things can be, Kira. I used to smoke.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I quit before Cheyenne was born. Haven't smoked since.
Good for you.
You know, you might find yourself in a situation where somebody offers you one of these things.
I have. That's when I use that powerful just say no technique.
Just smell that tobacco, they might say.
Thanks for the advice. You can throw those away now.
Huh. Darn straight I'm throwing them away. Because smoking is bad and evil, Kira. Bad and evil, I tell you. Oh, baby.
Jeez, Mrs. H, you sure did get a lot of booze.
Well, Van, a lot of people feel uncomfortable with these business-type get-togethers. So a few drinks kind of help break down the barriers. That way they can relax and get right to their conversational pieces.
It is hard work being witty.
Oh, look, there's Cheyenne's purse. You know, I'm halfway tempted just to go through it to make sure she got rid of those stupid cigarettes. Oh, who am I kidding? You know, I'm just doing this because I'm trying to protect her.
What do I care? She goes through your purse.
Nope, no cigarettes, just a bottle of vitamins.
Vitamins? No.
And what are you doing?
These vitamins are for women.
Van, I'm a woman.
Don't you have special vitamins for people your age? You know, for bone loss?
Oh, come over.
Seriously, Mrs. H, you don't need these vitamins. You look terrific. I'm serious. You're hot. If I wasn't married to your daughter, I would totally...
Ah, stop it! Look, Van, we're fixing to have a party. And I don't have time for these silly games. Come on.
All right, I'll tell you what. If you can snatch this out of my hand before I close... Probably won't be needing my conversational pieces.
In our real estate dealings, Van and I focus on being positive. Like I always say, if life gives you lemons, make yourself a screwdriver.
Whoa! Hey.
Van, what are you doing?
I think this bottle of vodka is bad. Yep, it's flat. Let me get you a fizzy one. Cheyenne, where have you been? I need your help.
What are you doing?
Trying to keep your mom from drinking this vodka?
You could just pour it down the drain.
Yeah, I could.
Wait, why are you trying to keep Mom from drinking?
Because before the party, your mother snooped through your purse, found your bottle of booze away pills, thought they were vitamins, and took one. Now, if she takes a drink, she's gonna blow like Mount Rushmore. You have to tell her.
Now? In the middle of her big party?
I can't pound this whole bottle of vodka. Barely got down the scotch.
Van, if I tell her, I'm just gonna get some big old lecture. We'll keep her from drinking, okay?
Keep your mom from drinking? Have you even seen her at parties? It's like she's sponsored by Smirnoff.
Quick, she's got wine. Go, 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 go.
As I was saying, Van is my son-in-law. And I thought, well, I'll just bring him in to work with me, and he's been doing a really good job.
Ah, shoo!
Van!
Oh my gosh, is that my gum? Here, let me get it out. Wine's a little corky. Should probably switch to juice.
I'll just have a beer.
I think we're out.
No, there's one right over there.
Excellent beer spottage, Mrs. H. Good eye. Good eye. Like I said, we're out.
Well, if anybody wants a beer, we can just squeeze Van. If you'll just pardon us just for a second here. Van, what's wrong with you?
I'm a little buzzed there, Redster.
Look, Mom, we found out that alcoholism is hereditary, which means you could easily get it from me.
I appreciate your concern, but I have to give a speech, and I don't have anything to toast with.
Just say you like to make a toast, and then hold up a piece of bread. You see, booze doesn't make you charming, humor does.
Move. Everyone, pardon me. I'd like to thank you all for coming out today. You know, real estate isn't about houses and land, it's about people. And Van and I feel like our clients are the best darn people in all of Houston. So, cheers.
Mrs. H, no! Real estate's also about, family. It's family togetherness, you know? And, it looks like someone starting their own family, ma'am. When are you due?
And she is not pregnant.
What?
So, everyone, cheers. Cheers. So, stick around, have a great time, relax, enjoy yourself. And when you go home tonight, think about who... think about who put you there. Think about... Oh, God, excuse me. Oh.
Well, this has given us a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Did you just spray yourself with canola oil?
Did I what? No, of course not. Oh, you mean that?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
You mind telling me why you just sprayed yourself with canola oil?
They say it's very good for the skin.
And every time I walk into a room today, you are spraying yourself with something. Cologne, air freshener, cooking spray. I find that odd. And it makes me want to ask you a question.
Oh,
What's her name?
whose name?
The skirt you've been running around with? The one whose perfume you're trying to cover up? Is it that tramp Kathy Tillman? Oh,
Barbara Jean, look, there's nobody.
oh, you liar!
Barbara Jean, look. It's this. I've been smoking.
Smoking? Yeah. Who got you hooked on smoking? That tramp Kathy Tillman?
Barbara Jean, think. What would I need with another woman when I have these?
Honey, this is not okay. We have 2 children living in this house. You cannot smoke. This has got to stop.
It will. It will, I swear. You know, I'm just gonna finish this pack and then I'll...
Brock.
Fine. I'll go to the store and get some patches.
And honey, I'm sorry I got so crazy back there. And just so you know, Kathy Tillman is one of my nearest and dearest friends.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
Don't worry, Mrs. H. I told everybody you've been drinking all day.
Van, your breath is making me nauseous.
Right back at you.
Oh,
Van, leave Mom alone and quit breathing on her. She's sick.
I don't understand it. I was feeling terrific.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, you eat right, you work out, you take your vitamins.
Knock it off, Van.
Oh, I'm just making a little joke. She has no idea what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about?
Oh, well, I'm not telling. Not telling, not telling. Seriously, you'll be mad.
Jan, what is he talking about? Tell me right now.
All right. All right. Clearly the hens need some time to cluckety-cluck. This rooster's gonna be upstairs.
What's he talking about?
Okay, you're probably not gonna think this is funny now, what with all the vomiting and stuff, but when you feel better, I promise you are gonna see the humor.
Step it up, Cheyenne. I'm about to wreck your blouse.
Okay. Here's the thing. That vitamin that you took earlier, well, it's not exactly a vitamin. It's called Booze Away, and it makes you sick if you drink alcohol. And I didn't realize how sick, so boy, that is a warning.
So you take a pill so you don't drink? What do they think about that down at the meeting?
Oh, okay, about the meetings. I stopped going.
Cheyenne, why would you stop going to the meetings?
Well, because I had to. They got a bell.
What?
Well, you used to be able to talk about yourself for as long as you wanted, and everyone had to listen. But now, when they think you talk too long, they ring a bell on you. And I'm the only one they do it to.
Oh, honey, I'm sure it just seems that way.
Oh, they call it getting Cheyenne.
Well, what are those people thinking? The whole point of having the meeting is so you'll talk about your drinking.
Okay, well, that's not exactly what I talk about.
Okay. What is it you do talk about?
I talk about lots of stuff, you know, like shopping and makeup and shoes, American Idol.
Cheyenne, it's a 12-step meeting, not a slumber party. Why don't you talk about the drinking?
Well, because that's embarrassing.
Really? More embarrassing than getting Cheyenne?
Look, I just want this to be over.
I know you do, honey. But it's going to be a struggle and something you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life.
Well, thanks for the pep talk.
I'm through giving you pep talks. You're going to have to stop taking the easy way out.
So I'm supposed to go to those meetings and have them ring a bell on me?
If that's what it takes to get you better, then yes, ma'am, you're going to have to do it.
Fine. I'll go, but I'm gonna start by telling them how mean my mom is.
Okay.
Cheyenne. I need you to come upstairs with me and clean the lamp that I broke. Reba! Reba, 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 Reba! 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 Why is this bed so high? Why are there so many pillows? Oh. Oh.
So, I decided that I'm gonna go back to my meeting tomorrow, and I cannot wait because I have so much to talk about. Which reminds me, I gotta pick out an outfit. I was shopping at the mall today at my favorite store, and I saw this really cute pair of pants. I mean, they were a little trashy. Not trashy on me, but trashy on other people. But it turns out they didn't even have my size. You know what? It is so cool that I could talk to you about stuff like this since I can't talk about it at my meeting anymore. I totally forgot to tell you. Elizabeth. We were walking through the mall, and this girl came up to us, and she wanted us to take pictures of Elizabeth because she said she was beautiful.
Found you a man. Barbara Jean, for the 15th time, I'm not dating your grandpa.
You missed the boat. He ran off with his day nurse. Well, not so much ran as... But I know you need a little help in this area, so I signed you up for an online dating service.
What do you mean?
Dating is when two people who like each other go out in public.
Yeah, and they're called a latte because they cost a lot.
Van, when you asked me to watch Elizabeth while you went to the store to get her some orange juice, I didn't think you meant in Florida.
Sorry it took so long, Mrs. H, but I couldn't remember which kind Elizabeth liked, so I had to call Cheyenne, who needed a ride home from the library.
Yeah, so he picked me up, and since both of us were hungry, we decided to go to lunch.
So where's the juice?
Shoot! Can you watch Elizabeth while I run to the store to get the juice?
Oh, you might want to get some aspirin for yourself.
Why do I need aspirin?
Guys, will you please tell Miss 19th Century here that online dating is a great way to meet compatible men?
I'll tell him to wear a helmet.
Reba, at least take a look at who the computer picked for you. I mean, one of these guys could be your soulmate. I mean, what about Steve, the mortician? Or Greg, the prison guard? Or Jorge, who works at the zoo?
Oh, that guy's a keeper. Yeah. Zookeeper!
Okay, yeah.
You know, Mom, maybe you should date. It might put you in a better mood.
You have been a little cranky lately, Mrs. H. Don't hit me.
Did you ever stop to think that I wouldn't be so cranky if I didn't have 5 loads of laundry, babysitting job, and dishes to wash?
Well, okay, look. I can do the dishes. Van can do everything else. I mean, that's a little housework compared to you finding your soulmate.
Well, I have been a little cranky lately.
Yeah?
I do need something.
And I know what it is. Starts with an L, ends in an E, has an O and a V, rhymes with dove. Yeah. La 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 la.
No, all right! What do I have to be worried about? That I'm gonna meet a crazy person?
Love!
My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
the slack when Mom's out catting around. And look, Van, can you believe that someone had dirty dishes in the bottom of the hamper?
Jake. That little scamp.
Knock, knock. Is your mom back from her coffee date yet?
Oh, yeah, she's back. I'm just preparing for surgery.
I don't see why they had to go out for coffee. I mean, that's what she and I do together. But I'm okay, you know, because if this guy works out, it'll mean that I set Reba up with the love of her life. We'll bond over her first date, her first kiss, their first fight, where I'll have to comfort her. There, Reba. Let it out.
Hello, loved ones. Barb Jean.
So, how did it go?
Well, I have to say that was one of the best afternoons I've had in a long time.
Real happy for you, Mrs. H, but Cheyenne and I are going to the movies. So, trash needs to be taken out. Dishes are in the hamper. See ya.
Whoa. Hang on, you didn't let me finish. He also asked me out for dinner tonight, so you guys will have to stay in.
What? This is so unfair. You know what, after I've done today, I'm not cooking dinner.
Believe me, Cheyenne, nobody wants that.
Well, seeing as I played Cupid on this one, when do I get to meet Mr. Wonderful?
Didn't I already set you up with a man?
See, Jake, when I ask, how was your day, and you say, fine, you know, that is not real communication. I mean, friends talk to each other, you know, even after they've made new friends. There's something I wish your mother knew. Now, I have told you the story about how I got fired from a llama ranch because I sang to the animals, okay? Now, the least you could do is just tell me one lousy thing about your day. Reba? Oh, crap.
Let me guess. Reba's out on a date again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Third night this week.
Please send me home.
Sorry, buddy. I'm sure your mom will be back soon. Listen, why don't you go hang out with Henry?
Honey, I'm worried about that boy. Being abandoned by his mother is causing him to shut down emotionally.
Oh, come on, Barbara Jean. You made him watch your DVD of The Way We Were 3 times. He's not shutting down. He's playing dead.
Fine. All right, it's me. I miss her. This morning I had coffee with her photo. Reba!
Sorry, love to chat, don't have anything to say. Jake, let's go!
So, Reba, how was your date with this so-called really great guy?
Oh, wonderful. We had dinner and caught an early movie.
Reba, you need to slow down. This is just happening too fast. You need to see other people. I'm available.
No, I'm not going to slow down or see other people. As hard as it is to believe, I have found someone wonderful. Someone who appreciates me. Someone I think I could spend the rest of my life with. As a matter of fact, I think I'm in love. It's about time. Don't you know they're in here talking to me?
Are you really in love, Mom?
Jake, can you keep a secret?
Am I gonna have a little brother?
Sit down. Jake, I'm not in love. I'm not even seeing anybody. I'm just pretending to go out on these dates so I can have a little alone time for me. You know, take a break from the loony bin.
I hear you. Dad and I didn't really join the Scouts.
Really? Then what do you guys do every Saturday?
Hey, are we keeping secrets here or not?
All right, fine, Jake, but you're missing out on a whole lot of fun.
What are you yelling about?
I was trying to pull that old Tom Sawyer paint the fence trick, telling him folding laundry's fun, but he's no idiot. Hey, Cheyenne, did you know folding laundry is good for your skin?
Hey, has Reba left for her date yet?
No, she's in the kitchen, which is spotless thanks to me, and she better not be making a mess in there!
Hey, Barbara Jean, did you know that folding laundry lifts and firms your buttocks?
Yeah, right. So, have you two met this guy your mom's been dating?
No, and I'm beginning to think that's a little weird.
Yeah, well, I, for one, I'm not gonna trust this guy until he comes to the house, meets the family, and starts picking up his share of the chores around here.
This is just so ridiculous. You know, I can give her everything a man can.
Yeah, look. Reba clearly does not want us to meet this guy. That's not really fair to him. So I think we should track down this guy and see what he wants.
It's a good idea. Okay, I got a plan to figure out where she's going tonight. Watch and learn.
Hey, Van, you know what? I think it really does feel firmer.
So, Reba, where are you going tonight?
Reverse psychiatry, nice.
What do you want to know?
We need to know where you're gonna go just in case we need to call you just in case of an emergency.
Yeah.
I have my cell.
Well, what if you're having dinner in the mountains and we can't reach your cell?
There are no mountains in Houston, Van.
Well, what if you're having dinner in an underground bunker made of lead?
We'll sit by an underground window.
She's got an answer for everything. Okay, plan B. Here's what we do.
Yeah.
We call her cell, we record the background noise, we have it analyzed by a restaurant sound expert. Bam, we got him.
Let's do it.
Hello? Yeah? Yes. Hi. Yes, thank you very much. That was Petit Jacques calling to confirm Mom's dinner reservation tonight.
Oh.
Okay, here's what we do.
Okay.
We call Petit Jacques. We record the background noise. We have it analyzed by a
Get in the
restaurant.
car.
Hey, Jake, can you tell Kira to watch Elizabeth for a little bit?
Sure, she gets $50 an hour.
What? No way. $7 an hour and she could talk on the phone to the other witches in the coven.
Cheyenne, we don't need to negotiate with him. He's tiny and I can throw him.
I speak for Kira, and the price just went to $60. Want to throw me now, Van?
Can I buy you some dinner to go with that wine?
Oh, no thanks.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were with someone.
Oh, I'm not. Well, I am sort of, but not really. But thanks, but no.
Something tells me you're gonna have a hard time deciding on an entree.
What are y'all doing here? You're gonna ruin my date.
Oh, yeah? It was such a great date. How come you're reading a book? Oh, Lord, he's a writer.
That's right, he's a writer.
Oh, Reba, I see through your facade. Your date stood you up.
What kind of a guy has a chance to be with you and then leaves you? At the table.
Look, guys, my date did not stand me up, okay?
Well, we're not leaving until we meet him.
Okay, all right, fine. He's, ah, there he is. Excuse me. Oh, okay. I changed my mind. I want dinner.
What?
Yeah, that's, my family over there. They're all crazy. My name is Reba, and if you would pretend to be my boyfriend, then they'll probably leave me alone, okay? Now go. Smile. Get your drink. Here we go. Here he is. This is, My date. Date, this is my family.
Well, you certainly know your way around a bar. Thanks for taking the 12 steps over here.
I'm Brock, the ex, the shoes to fill.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Ted. I'm Irina's boyfriend.
Her name's Reba.
He calls me Irina because I remind him of a Russian princess.
That is so cute.
Hey, what do you say we ditch this place? Go back to the house. Mrs. H can whip up some supper, and you can start folding some sheets.
Yeah. So, Ted, Reba hasn't really talked about you. So talk.
Okay, well, I like fishing.
Me too.
You do not.
Do now.
She's my little fish girl.
Oh, that's me. Yellow. No, Jake, we did not talk about overtime. I swear I will throw you.
So, Ted. Tell me about Ted.
Well, my name is Ted, and I'm a bicycle salesman from Ottawa. I'm only in the States part-time.
Canada. Land of scam artists.
I thought you were a writer.
No. Rider, a bicycle rider. Oh, you thought I meant book writer?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's funny. Okay. I'd never date a book writer. No, they're worse than musicians.
You're from Canada? But that's so far away.
It's a beautiful place. You'll like it, Reba.
Really?
What do you say? You want to get married?
Well, Ted, this is a little odd.
No, she does not.
Barbara Jean.
I love this woman, and I'm taking her to Canada.
Ted.
Oh, yeah? Well, I love her more, and if I can't have her, no one can.
Okay, you can have her.
Yeah, I
All right, fine. All right, looks like I'm paying overtime. Can we speed this up, people? Todd, get in the car. You're moving in.
Okay, that's it. Ted is not my boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend. The person I was dating was me.
Well, then who's this guy?
Well, my name really is Ted, but I'm not a Canadian bicycle salesman. I was just trying to be weird enough to scare off your family. Good luck.
So, Reba, you never had a date?
Yeah, I did. I had a date set up with the zookeeper, but he never showed. But as I was sitting there by myself, I realized something. I realized that I like spending time by myself. But I'm always so busy taking care of y'all that I never get the chance to do that.
Oh, Mrs. H, you know what's a great way of spending time with yourself? Folding clothes.
I need some time away from the house. And if that means going out reading a book or learning French, well, I don't think that's such a big deal, and it's not too much to ask.
We're sorry, Mom. I guess we didn't realize how much you did around the house till we had to do it ourselves.
Yeah, we learned a valuable lesson. It only cost me $80 and an iPod.
You gave him my iPod? You had better back up my Serenity bath mix, Van.
Well, Reba, glad you weren't dating a con man. And when you do find someone, I hope he's at least as handsome and well put together as I am. Yeah, well, you deserve it.
Thanks, Brock. But I hope he doesn't have your bird legs.
You still think about him, don't you?
I'll be out in a minute, Tweety. Sweetie. Look, Reba, I'm really sorry that we all came down here tonight to ruin your date. I learned something about myself that I don't like very much. Turns out, I would rather you were unhappy and all mine than happy with somebody else. Does that make me a bad person?
Oh, Barb Jean. Of course it does.
It's just that I know that someday you're gonna meet someone special, and I'm just gonna have to find a way to deal with the loss of my best friend.
You know, Barbara Jean, I realized something a long time ago. No matter where I go or who I meet or how many times I change my phone number, you'll hunt me down like a dog. Well, thanks, Ted. You're a good sport. You know, my family seems a little weird, but that's only at first impression. They're also dangerous.
My family's crazy too.
Really?
But after meeting yours, I think I'll call mine.
Hey, by the way, what do you do for a living?
I'm a musician.
Hey, I just went to the kitchen and got these myself. Hey, Reba, aren't you glad I invited Ted to come over?
Yeah, and we're so glad you stayed.
Isn't she a pistol? You know, I was just thinking that if you two like each other, technically, I introduced you.
That's true. Reba never would have invited me over if she didn't want you to go away.
I know! Isn't life funny? You know what else is funny? This one time, Reba and I went bowling. It's hilarious. Oh, okay, I get it. You two want to be alone. All right, Reba, you and I, we will catch up later, okay? Maybe we can have dinner here sometime. Without Ted. Call me. So, how was your day?
You know that little starter home I've been trying to sell? Well, guess what? I sold it.
It's like you're cursed.
Yeah, isn't selling houses what you're supposed to do?
The buyer was another real estate agent from my firm. He's gonna flip it.
One of my brothers flips houses. He buys low and sells high. He has made a fortune. My other brother flipped his pickup. He's made a fortune pretending he has whiplash.
This is the third time he's done this to me. David Davids. Guy who's not creative enough to have two different names is making a fortune off of me. He's already made 50 grand.
50 grand?
Well, Reba, excuse me for pointing out what should be obvious, but there's a simple way to keep this from happening. Instead of being the flippee, you should be the flipper.
Yeah, Mom, you should totally do that.
Do you think I'm so stupid that I hadn't already thought of that? I've already thought of that.
Well, then why don't you do it?
'Cause you have to have a pre-approved mortgage from the bank, and I can't get it. My credit rating is too low. Don't ever get divorced, Cheyenne. It'll ruin you.
Sorry.
Hey, wait a minute. You and Van are partners, right? Well, Van has one of those pre-approval letters.
No, he doesn't. Wait, he does? Why?
He got it after the 10th time he threatened to kick us out. He said we needed a quick exit strategy.
I got it. White out. We'll get the letter from Van. We'll white out his name. We'll put in your name. Ew, as I say it, it sounds like fraud.
Look, why don't you just mooch off Van? That'd be a turnaround.
That's a great idea. Yeah. Who knew Van could be so useful? This is perfect. I got the brains and the know-how. He's got the credit. I can't wait to bring Van in on this.
Bring Van in on what?
Oh, Van, I got a great idea for us to make some money.
If you're thinking about selling pot like that chick on Showtime, the answer is no.
No. I'm thinking about buying and selling some of the real estate we list.
You mean that thing Davy Two Names does? The flipping thing?
Yes, it's me and you, Van, raking in the cash.
And you let me do that with you?
Yes.
Pass.
My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
Pass? I offer you what could be the chance of a lifetime and you say pass?
Wait a minute. This could be a chance of a lifetime?
Yes.
Oh, pass.
Oh, wait a minute. All right, you're actually starting to annoy me. Why pass?
Because Mrs. H, the housing market is falsely inflated right now, full of untrained speculators, and the bubble is going to burst at any second. To quote Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan, the froth is on the market.
Do you understand anything you just said?
I understand when an old geezer in a suit talks about money, I listen.
Fan, listen. Honey, you're my son-in-law, and I hate to get rich and you just stay poor.
But we're going to get all your money when you die anyway, so 6 of 1.
Okay, what's going on with you? You've always loved risky stuff. I mean, you were the ones that always going around putting forks into toasters.
Yes, but when I put a fork in a toaster, I get a payoff. An English muffin. Or that one time I watch. But the thing that you're talking about doesn't have a payoff.
How can you say that? Do you have any idea how much money David Dingbat is making flipping these houses?
Yeah, but David Dingbat has something that you don't have.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
Stones.
Stones?
Stones. Cojones. Brass ones. He doesn't just talk about doing things. He does them.
I'm gonna do that too.
No, Mrs. H, no, you're not. With all due respect, you say this every time. You see somebody else taking a risk that works out for them, and then you're like, hey, I want to do that too. But at the end of the day, you just can't pull the trigger.
Well, pardon my French, but that's buffalo droppings. You think I don't have stones? Watch this.
Those aren't stones. These are stones. Coffee ground with a hint of eggshell.
You're wrong about me, Van. And to prove it, I guarantee you that I will buy a house to flip within the week.
You're serious, 1 week.
1 week, I promise.
All right, deal. 1 week or 7 days, whichever comes first.
No problem. I'll get us a house before you can say I wished I hadn't eaten that garbage banana.
All I'm saying is we wouldn't have missed the opera if you had stopped and asked for directions.
I know. I get it. Let it go.
I mean, we didn't even have to pull over. We've got this stupid Econo Star. All you have to do is push a button and a person comes on to help you. Watch how easy.
Whoa, be careful. Every time you push that thing, it costs like $2. Plus tax. It's a total ripoff.
Yeah, well, the tickets to the opera cost $65 each, and we missed the show.
65? You told me you won those tickets on a radio show.
Oh, get real, Brock. What radio station gives away opera tickets? K-Lame? I bought them because the opera is far away, and I thought we could talk in the car.
Well, I can't talk when I'm lost, woman.
Well, when can you talk? You never want to talk when you come home from work.
Yeah, because I'm a dentist. I talk all day long. My patients have mouths full of equipment. All they can do is blink and go.
Yeah, well, I'm home all day with our 3-year-old, and passes as good conversation. I'm just trying to tell you, I need some adult entertainment.
You want to rent a dirty movie?
No, that is not the answer to everything. I was talking about the opera.
Oh, face it, Barbara Jean. No straight man in America wants to go to the opera.
Oh, right. You're Mr. Macho. Are you wearing your leopard thong tonight?
Hey, I got that as something fun for us.
Yeah, well, it's not fun. It's gay.
That's it. I don't have to take this anymore.
Hey, everybody, Brock Hart wears a leopard thong!
Now it's not special.
You're right, you know.
Is that God? Do you want me to build something?
No, you pushed the call button. I've been listening the whole time. My name's Hal.
Well, hi, Hal. I'm Barbara Jean.
You sound cute.
Really?
Totally.
Oh.
I'll talk to you. I'm not a dentist. So tell me about yourself.
Well, I was born in a tiny town called Friendly, Texas. My daddy always said that's probably why you're so friendly. Of course, then my older sister, Lori Ann, would always say, well, then she should have been born in annoying Texas. And I just told her, well, I guess that means you were born in butt ugly Texas. I didn't really say that. I just thought of that now.
You're funny.
Oh, I think so.
Hey, honey.
Hey, Mom. Did you find a house today?
No, why you ask me that?
Because this morning you said, today's the day I'm gonna find a house.
Well, I lied. Just like I've lied for the last 7 days. Your mama's nothing but a big old red-headed liar.
Well, howdy, partner. Your week is up. What do you got for me?
Okay. First of all, I want you to know that I put a lot of effort into this. I looked at 50 houses, ran comps on all of them, talked to the neighbors, saw their dogs and their cats.
You got nothing, right?
Zilch!
You're telling me out of 50 houses, you could make money on any of them?
Nah, not many.
How many?
I don't know. 30? I'm sorry, Van, you're right. I got no stones.
Stones?
Stones, kahunas, brass things. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why do I always look at the glass as half empty?
Well, I don't know if it's too late to call the caterer and cancel your pity party, Mrs. H, but your stoneless condition has not stopped us.
What are you talking about?
I bought a house.
You bought a house without me?
Well, gee, why is that? I had to move fast. There were 15 other offers on it, and I was the only one willing to take it as is.
You bought a house as is?
No. We bought a house as is. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go dig through the garbage for something to eat. Brass ones. Ooh. Looks good. Now this little experiment is over.
Van, how could you use our money and buy a house that hasn't been inspected?
Because the monkey doesn't get the cheese unless he swings from the tree.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means you snooze, you lose. No risk, no reward. You take a chance, you get to dance. I got a bunch of these.
Van, nobody buys a house without it being inspected. There's so many things that can go wrong. I mean, did you look at the plumbing? Look for termites? Inspect the foundation?
It's a little hard to check the foundation, Mrs. H. There's a house on top of it. Look, tomorrow we'll go check it out. We'll have it inspected. Maybe it'll be in great shape.
And what if it's not?
Well, that's unfortunate because we own it.
How's everything with you? Did you ever find your garlic press?
It was in with the spatulas.
Told you.
I know, you did. You did. It's like you know me.
Hey.
Gosh. Oh.
Why are you sitting out in the car again, Barbara Jean?
Me?
Yeah.
I was listening to the traffic report.
Oh, how come? You going somewhere?
No. Yeah. Well, I was planning to, but the traffic is terrible. There was this horrible accident on Fair Oaks Avenue.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
Why were you laughing?
Because it was a funny accident.
I see. Yeah, well, if the comedy show's over, why don't you come inside? I made us dinner.
What? You made me dinner?
Well, something fancy. It's just spaghetti and meatballs for us, a little noodle-roni for Henry. Yeah, I thought maybe we could hang out and talk. You know, like you wanted. Barbara Jean, honey, what's the matter?
Nothing, you know, I was just thinking about all those poor people in that hilarious accident. Hal?
Well, finally, what happened before?
Shh. Don't speak, Hal. Just listen. I don't feel right about this. I mean, I know we've only talked a few times by satellite, but I am married, and I feel like I should be sharing with my husband. This isn't right. I'm gonna have to call it off.
Call it off? You're going to throw everything away? Everything we shared? The shortcut to the dry cleaners? The time you locked yourself in the trunk?
Yes. Those were good times. But I want my good times to be with Brock. He doesn't deserve this. He is a good husband and a good father to my child. And when I'm with him, I never need directions to love. He has the roadmap to my heart. Oh, my Lord, are you crying? Don't cry, Hal.
I'm not crying.
Oh, Barbara Jean.
What are you doing in the back seat?
Are you okay? Do I need to call the police?
I'm fine, Hal. It's Brock. Were you spying on me?
Well, I knew something was going on. You spent less time in my car when we were sneaking around on Reba.
Nothing happened.
I know it didn't. Yet. Barbara Jean, I love you. And if it takes a man from outer space to make me realize that I haven't been paying enough attention to you, then so be it.
Oh. Honey, let's go inside.
I'll be right there. Okay, listen up, Hal. You keep your ears off my wife, or else.
Or else what?
Very funny. Open the car door, Hal.
I can't do that, Dave.
It's Brock. Open the door.
So tell me, Dave, do you get along with your neighbors?
Why is this inspection taking so long? The guy probably got attacked by toxic mold that he found under the cracked foundation that covers the portal to hell.
Way to be positive, Ma.
Really? And even if he did find a portal to hell, you have to admit that'd be pretty cool.
I don't know what it is, but I can't shake the feeling that this could be a huge disaster.
You say that about everything.
Remember when I got pregnant at 17? You totally freaked.
Guys, this is very serious. We could be on the verge of taking a huge financial loss on this house.
Or we could be on the verge of making a bunch of money. Why are you only looking at what could go wrong?
Yeah, this could be our lucky day.
Yeah, right.
There you go again. Mrs. H, why is it such an impossibility?
Because luck doesn't happen to everybody. It just happens to the lucky people.
Well, maybe you're a lucky person.
Yeah, obviously.
Yes, it is obvious. It's obvious to us that you're the luckiest person in the world. You're like a four-leaf clover with red hair.
How can you say that?
Because every time something bad has happened to me, my parents kicking me out of the house, me getting injured in Denver, my wife hitting the sauce. When I get around you, things get better.
Hitting the sauce?
You know what I mean. Mrs. H, I hate that you feel like you're jinxed or something.
Technically,
technically, what I was doing was self-medicating, man.
Well, honey, either way, it's glug, glug, glug. Mrs. H, I want to be in business with you because you are lucky. You're blessed. Not to get too flowery, but sunshine comes out of your butt.
I can't help it if I don't feel lucky.
Exactly, just like how someone with a drinking problem can't help.
Cheyenne, would you be a little lamb and go out to the car and get my briefcase?
Right.
Thank you, sweetie. Till death do us part, huh? All right. You want to know how to feel lucky?
Yeah.
Here it is. You just feel lucky.
That's it?
That's it.
I don't know if I can do that, Van.
But if you don't think you can do that, or if you don't want to do that, then you can get out of this deal before we hear the inspector's report.
Okay, all done.
Wait, don't say anything yet. Mrs. H, if you're out, you're out. But if you're in, you have to believe in yourself. Can you do that? Can you believe that you're lucky? Come on, give me a little moonshine.
Okay, I'm in.
All right, yes. So, what's the verdict?
The house is a dump.
Van!
I'm just kidding. Nobody ever likes that joke. The house is great. You're good to go.
Thank you.
Van, you hear that? The house is great. We're good to go. How about those brass things, huh?
Pretty smart to have this done twice, Van.
Twice? What do you mean twice?
I inspected the house last week before Van bought it. It's very smart. You don't want to leave it up to luck, right?
You already had the house inspected.
Oh, yeah, Mrs. H. Not an idiot.
Well, what about that whole lucky thing? This doesn't prove that I'm lucky.
Sure it does. You didn't know the house was fine when you stayed in. That makes you lucky.
You mean you set this whole thing up just to force me to believe in myself?
Yes, because I believe in you.
You are one sweet kid, Van.
Like a big cube of sugar.
So I guess you kind of played me, didn't you?
Oh, like a fiddle.
Well, let me ask you something, Ben. You feel lucky right now?
Well, maybe not so much.
Econo Store, can I help you?
Hello? Who is this?
I'm Chrissy.
Oh, Chrissy. Thank God. I've been locked in my car for hours. Can you get me out?
Sure. Just one question. Are you the guy that gave Hal a hard time?
No?
Liar.
Their expressions a mix of awe and frustration. Van shook his head, his athletic frame leaning against the kitchen island. He pointed an accusatory finger toward the empty space where the snack boxes used to reside. "That woman is out of control," Van declared, his voice hushed but intense. "She is like a locust. She has eaten everything in the house." Beside him, young Ben nodded in solemn agreement. He reached out and picked up 2 small glass containers from the counter. He held them up to the morning light. "She has eaten everything in Mr. H's house," Ben observed, his eyes wide. "Look, even the salt and pepper shakers are empty." Van sighed, crossing his arms over his chest. "Why do you not just tell her she has eaten too much? You tell her." Ben took a step back, shaking his head defensively. No, you tell her. Rock, paper, scissors. Van smirked, cracking his knuckles with a quiet confidence. He knew the young boy all too well. Ben, you know you're going to lose. Not this time. Ben challenged, his small fists raised and ready. 1, 2, 3. They threw their hands down simultaneously. Van presented a flat palm, signifying paper. Ben extended his index and middle fingers, forming scissors. The paper covered the rock, but the scissors cut the paper. Except, in a sudden twist of fate, Van had actually formed a rock. Dang it! Ben exclaimed, dropping his hands to his sides. How do you always beat me? Because you always pick scissors, Van explained smoothly, a triumphant grin spreading across his face. Of course I do, it is my system, Ben grumbled, crossing his arms. He looked up at his older brother-in-law expectantly. So you will tell her? Van's triumphant smile vanished instantly. The reality of the task settled over him like a heavy blanket. Yeah, fine, he muttered, before his courage completely failed him. No, I do not want to. You tell her, Ben pleaded, tugging at Van's sleeve. Come on, you tell her. Please, please, please. No, Ben, why should I tell her? Van asked, desperate for a way out. Because girls can say that kind of stuff without having come across like all they care about are looks. Ben reasoned, his young mind trying to navigate the complex social dynamics of the household. He then looked at a girl passing through the kitchen and offered a charming, completely out of context compliment to soften the mood. By the way, you've been looking hot lately. Oh, you? The girl giggled, waving him off as she walked away. Reba, the matriarch of the house, had been silently observing the chaotic exchange from the living room. She was a woman who held her family together with strong hands and an even stronger heart. She walked into the kitchen, a gentle smile on her face. Look, sweetie, Reba said, placing a comforting hand on Ben's shoulder. Why do I not tell her? Thank you. Before Reba could formulate a plan, the front door burst open. In walked another family member, carrying a large, flat cardboard box that smelled heavily of tomato sauce and melted cheese. Hey, 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 the newcomer announced cheerfully. Guess who Luigi gave the free pizza to? Luigi does not have to roll it out of bed every morning. Reba sighed, wiping her hands on a dish towel. You know, Mom, we really do not need another pizza. I mean, it is really just the three of us. Oh, I know, but I had to take it. It was free, the older woman insisted, setting the box down on the counter. Somebody will eat it, Van chimed in, eyeing the box with sudden interest. Oh, dibs. Reba stepped between Van and the pizza, her expression turning serious. You know what, Mom? I am thinking maybe we should all try and get a little healthier around here. The older woman looked utterly bewildered. What are you talking about? I am very healthy. Suddenly, a loud commotion erupted from the hallway. Reba rushed out, followed by Van and Ben. They found Mrs. H, also known as Barbara Jean, clutching a large bag of potato chips. Her eyes wild with an insatiable hunger. All right, that is it, Mrs. H, Reba commanded, using her best authoritative tone. Drop it, Mrs. H, drop it, drop it, drop it. Barbara Jean clung to the bag as if it were a life preserver. Drop it, Reba insisted, her voice softening with genuine concern. Mrs. H, I cannot stand to see you do this to yourself. It is like you are trying to eat yourself to death. Why? What happened to you? What is different? The scene suddenly blurred, the edges of reality rippling as if submerged underwater. The kitchen faded into darkness, replaced by the surreal landscape of a deep slumber. Somewhere in another house, Barbara Jean was tossing and turning in her bed, trapped in a vivid nightmare. In her dream, she was running through a distorted funhouse. Voices echoed around her. Yoo-hoo, I am here, and I am thin. A voice mocked her. Another voice replied, yeah, thin as a stick and dumb as one. Yikes, what is eating Cooper grape? A strange, disembodied voice asked from shadows. Look at that. They look like the number 10. Another voice whispered cruelly. Barbara Jean gasped, her eyes snapping open in the dim light of her bedroom. Her chest heaved as she realized she was awake. She looked down at her hands, then touched her face, and finally ran her hands down her slender waist. A massive wave of relief washed over her. "Oh, thank God it was just a nightmare," Barbara Jean whispered to the empty room. She threw off the covers and leaped out of bed, her spirit completely renewed. She rushed to the mirror, admiring her reflection. "Yoo-hoo, I am here, and I am thin," she cheered herself, though the shadows of the nightmare still lingered in the back of her mind, a subtle reminder of the insecurities she had fought so hard to overcome. Chapter 2, Smoothies and New Realities. Morning arrived with its usual chaotic energy in the Reba household. Reba stood at the kitchen counter, an apron tied around her waist, managing the morning routine with the precision of a seasoned general. She hummed a quiet tune to herself, a song that always seemed to play in the background of her mind when she felt overwhelmed. My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I want to be, she thought, the lyrics grounding her. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops. With gentle hands and the heart of a fighter, I am a survivor. Ben wandered into the kitchen, rubbing the sleep from his eyes. "Mom, make us some pancakes," he requested, his voice thick with morning grogginess. Reba shook her head, holding up a blender filled with a suspicious green mixture. "No, I am making everyone a power smoothie. And this afternoon, I am taking a power walk." Van walked in just in time to hear the end of her sentence. He let out a loud, dramatic scoff. "Power walk? Oh, forget your power cane." Cheyenne, Van's young wife, slapped his arm lightly. "Van, that is not nice. Mom does aerobics." Van did not miss a beat. She could shatter her hip. Reba turned off the blender and glared at her son-in-law, an icy calm in her voice. "And yet, in the blink of an eye, I can make you both homeless." Before Van could offer an apology, the front door swung open with a dramatic flourish. Barbara Jean stood in the doorway, practically radiating sunshine. She was dressed in a brightly colored, form-fitting workout outfit that highlighted her recent, dramatic weight loss. "Hey, everybody," Barbara Jean announced, striking a pose. "I am here, and I am—" Reba, utterly exhausted by the morning already, grabbed a pastry from a pink box on the counter. "Oh, shut up and have a donut," she interrupted, holding the pastry out toward her. Barbara Jean delicately pushed the donut away, a look of faux horror on her face. "Oh, Reba, you are not still trying to lose weight by drinking those power smoothies, are you? Jordan, my trainer, says that those are loaded with hidden carbs." Reba took a slow, deliberate sip of the thick, green liquid. "Barbara Jean, I am all for adopting a healthy new lifestyle. But seriously, I mean, there has to be some sort of—" She paused, noticing that the rest of the family had completely frozen. Van, Ben, and even Cheyenne were staring open-mouthed at Barbara Jean. The silence in the kitchen was palpable. "Will you stop staring at her?" Reba demanded, waving her hand in front of Van's face. "What?" Van asked, blinking rapidly as if breaking out of a trance. "We have been staring at her for, the past 2 hours. Well, she is pretty," Ben offered simply. Barbara Jean beamed, fluffing her hair. "I am pretty." Reba rolled her eyes, though a fond smile tugged at the corners of her mouth. "Well, of course you are. You have always been pretty, but she is new pretty." Barbara Jean turned to Van, her eyes wide with anticipation. "Oh, Van, that is such a funny story you can tell to your next wife. Fun. You really think that I am new pretty?" Van nodded enthusiastically, completely oblivious to his wife standing right beside him. "Oh, yeah, you are like a bleached-out Halle Berry." "Thank you," Barbara Jean cooed. "You are welcome," Van replied proudly. "I am going to go make some calls." He turned and walked out of the kitchen, seemingly eager to spread the news of this marvelous transformation. Cheyenne, feeling the sudden sting of comparison. shifted uncomfortably on her feet. "So, Barbara Jean," Ben started, a mischievous glint in his eye. "Yeah," Barbara Jean answered. "Is it true that, when you lose a bunch of weight, you, want to do, bounce, ka bounce?" "Ben." Reba scolded sharply. Van poked his head back into the kitchen, realizing the atmosphere had shifted. He looked at his wife's crestfallen face. "Oh, Cheyenne, do not be upset. You are still hot." He paused, searching for a compliment. "You are like a bleached-out Jan Brady. January Jan Brady." Cheyenne groaned, burying her face in her hands. "I am Marcia. Marcia, Marcia, Marcia." She turned and stormed out of the room, leaving a trail of frustration in her wake. Barbara Jean leaned against a counter, completely unfazed by the domestic drama. "So, Reba, I got an idea. You should come down to the gym and meet Jordan, my trainer. Seriously, he will change your life. I mean, he is so much more than a personal trainer. He taught me how to work out and eat right." She sighed dreamily, looking up at the ceiling. "We go over the clothes I'm going to wear, the movies I'm going to see." Reba raised an eyebrow, pausing mid-sip of her smoothie. "Whoa, the movies you're going to see? What has that got to do with you getting in shape?" "Oh, nothing," Barbara Jean giggled. "We just have the same sense of humor. That Tim Allen just kills us. I mean, whether he is playing a dog or Santa Claus, you just buy it. So you will come meet Jordan?" "No," Reba answered flatly. "Oh, come on, Reba," Barbara Jean pleaded, pouting slightly. "I want my best girlfriend to meet my best boyfriend." She gasped, covering her mouth with her hand. "Boyfriend? Oh, whoops. That came out wrong." Reba gave her a long, calculating look, trying to decipher if that was a genuine slip of the tongue or just Barbara Jean being Barbara Jean. "Oh, well, thanks anyway, but I am just going to be here with my smoothie. Delicious." She took another sip and grimaced, just like fruit gravy. The back door opened and Brock, Barbara Jean's husband and Reba's former husband, walked in. He looked tired, carrying the weight of a man trying to keep up with a sudden shift in his universe. "Oh, hey, Barbara Jean," Brock said, his face lighting up slightly upon seeing his wife. "Here you are. Listen, how would you like to go out and grab a quick lunch? Just the two of us." Barbara Jean checked her sparkling new watch. "Oh, honey, I cannot. I am going to the gym." Brock's smile faltered. "Well, cannot you skip it just this once? Come on. I will take you to that romantic French place you like so much." "Really?" Barbara Jean asked, her eyes lighting up for a moment before discipline took over. "Skip the gym and eat French food? No confondu, brah." She blew him a quick kiss and hurried out the front door, leaving a cloud of expensive perfume and a very dejected husband behind. Brock slumped onto a bar stool, staring at the space his wife had just occupied. "Man." She blew me off again. All she wants to do is go down to the gym and spend time with Jordan, her trainer. "Exactly," Reba replied, wiping down the counter. "Frankly, I like the new, but the new attitude, not so much." Brock shot her a defensive look. "Oh, that is really funny coming from the old, but..." He sighed, running a hand through his hair. "Jordan is so great. Jordan is so toned and funny. Well, I got news for you. Nobody is toned and funny." Reba stopped wiping the counter and looked at him. "Brock, you're overreacting." "Oh, really?" Brock challenged, leaning forward. "Yeah, I think she might be having an affair with this guy." Reba almost choked on the air. Barbara Jean with her trainer? I mean, sure, he is probably a better man than you are, better looking and younger, but... "That is it," Brock interrupted, slamming his hand on the counter. "Reba, I need you to help me out. I want you to go down to the gym and see if there is anything going on. You know, spy on him for me." Reba stared at him in disbelief. "No way. You know, Barbara Jean may have a long list of faults, and I have that list if you need a copy. but she is nothing if not faithful. Yeah, right, Brock scoffed bitterly. Up until now. But now that she is thin and hot, she has all kind of options. Reba felt a pang of sympathy for the man, despite their complicated history. Look, Brock, if it is worrying you that much, be honest with her. Tell her how you feel. Tell her that you just need a hug every now and then. Brock rolled his eyes dramatically. Oh, now there's a great idea. See? Why, since my competition is a macho, muscular dude, I should go the other way and appear all weak and whiny. Your solutions are ridiculous. Reba makes me to spy on those. Stupid. He pointed at the green smoothie, unable to articulate his frustration. Before turning on his heel and marching out of the kitchen, Reba looked at her smoothie, shaking her head. Hard to believe they are supposed to be good for you. Chapter 3. The Green-Eyed Monster. Later that afternoon, the living room felt unusually tense. Van was pacing back and forth, muttering to himself, while Cheyenne sat on the couch, flipping through a magazine with unnecessary aggression. Reba walked in, carrying a basket of laundry. She paused, observing the strange behavior. Hey, Mrs. H, you off your power walk? Van asked, looking up as Reba passed by. He was clearly distracted, his mind racing with wild theories. Reba stopped. Man, I love old people. Power walking, moving along, swinging their arms, like there's a big sale for false teeth. No, I am not going for my power walk. This whole physical thing is getting everybody acting wacko. Van nodded vigorously. What do you mean? Reba asked, setting the laundry basket down. Well, your dad thinks that the guy who gave Barbara Jean her new body is wanting to take a spin. He probably does. Cheyenne looked up from her magazine, glaring at Van. What are you talking about? Guys are pigs, Van stated matter-of-factly. They are dogs. They are all animals. They just care about hot women. They are hot dogs. Cheyenne threw the magazine onto the coffee table. My point is that when you got a hot lady, you got to keep your guard up at all times. Van walked over and sat beside her, tried to soothe her ruffled feathers. I used to. Cheyenne crossed her arms tightly. You used to? No. Baby, did not take it like that. Van pleaded, realized his mistake. It is just that I have grown into a mature, stable individual. That is all. Well, I do not like it. Cheyenne huffed, turning her back to him. Just then, Ben walked into the living room, a sandwich in his hand. Where have you been? Reba asked, glad for the distraction. I went to get something to eat, Ben replied innocently, taking a massive bite of the sandwich. Reba sighed, sitting down on a nearby chair. So, Ben, you think that Brock might be right about this trainer? Ben chewed thoughtfully before answering. Sure, this guy could be hot for Barbara Jean, but since Barbara Jean is not looking to play, there is no problem. And it is obvious Barbara Jean is not looking. Reba leaned forward, intrigued by the boy's surprising wisdom. Why is this obvious? 2 reasons, Ben stated, holding up 2 fingers. Barbara Jean is not good at keeping secrets, and she thinks of you as her best friend. If she were fooling around with this guy, she would be constantly talking about him to you. Heck, she would probably even want you to meet him. Reba's eyes widened as the realization hit her like a ton of bricks. The conversation from the morning echoed in her ears. I want my best girlfriend to meet my best boyfriend. Meet him? Oh! Reba gasped, standing up abruptly. Where are you going? Van asked, startled by her sudden movement. Go down to the gym with the rest of the wackos, Reba declared, grabbing her purse from the entryway table. All right, Van called out after her. Well, keep those arms a-swinging. Chapter 4. Stretching the Truth at the Gym. The local fitness center was a symphony of clanking iron, rhythmic breathing, and pulsating electronic music. Reba pushed through the heavy glass doors, feeling entirely out of her element in her casual jeans and sensible blouse. Everywhere she looked, Heavily muscled men and incredibly toned women were pushing their bodies to the absolute limit. She navigated her way through the maze of treadmills and elliptical machines, feeling like an explorer in a strange and somewhat intimidating jungle. "Oh, hey, Reba, you came," a cheerful voice called out. Reba turned to see Barbara Jean, glowing with sweat and happiness, standing next to a man who looked like he had been sculpted out of marble. "Yeah," Reba said, trying to act casual while her eyes darted around the room. "Man, there's a lot of beautiful people around here. You should see them naked in the shower." She instantly regretted the joke, clearing her throat awkwardly. "Hey, Jordan," the muscular man said, extending a massive, calloused hand. "Hey," Reba replied, shaking his hand hesitantly. Jordan turned his attention back to his client. "Ready to start, Barbara Jean?" Yeah, Barbara Jean agreed eagerly. Jordan smiled, his perfectly white teeth contrasting with his deep tan. "Hey, you look great in that outfit." Barbara Jean blushed, smoothing down the fabric of her athletic wear. "Oh, well, the other woman is getting kind of baggy." She gestured toward Reba, completely missing the insult hidden within her words. Can you believe her? She did the impossible. She lost all that weight and kept these fellas. Barbara Jean grabbed Reba's shoulders and shook her playfully. Oh. Okay, Jordan. Jordan, this is my friend, Reba. Jordan offered another blinding smile. Hey, I am Jordan. I am Reba, she repeated, feeling more uncomfortable by the second. So, you gonna join us, Reba? Jordan asked, gesturing toward an empty exercise mat. Reba took a step back, holding up her hands. Oh, I do not know. I just think that, me and my, fellows would just watch for a while. Jordan shook his head gently. Well, Reba, you're not going to get into shape by just watching. You need to sweat a little. Yeah, but you guys got to understand, it has been a while since I've been in a gym like this. And I do not think. Reba started to protest, but Jordan had already moved on. Hello, there, Jordan instructed, guiding Barbara Jean down onto the mat. Barbara Jean, you really are getting limber. Barbara Jean giggled, leaning back. Remember when you could not put your leg over my head? Remember when I did not want to? Jordan laughed warmly. Reba watched in rising horror as Jordan began to manipulate Barbara Jean's limbs in ways that seemed highly inappropriate for a public setting, let alone a professional relationship. He had one of her legs hoisted over his shoulder while leaning over her. Is that legal? Reba stammered, pointing a shaking finger at the pair. I mean, necessary? Jordan did not even look up. It is critical to stretch the muscles out before you exercise them. Yeah, Barbara Jean echoed, closing her eyes in bliss. Otherwise, you could really hurt something. Turn over, Jordan commanded gently. Barbara Jean rolled onto her stomach. Jordan looked up at Reba. Reba, you need to watch this one. This one is my favorite. Reba felt her stomach tie into a knot. All right. Jordan placed his hands squarely on Barbara Jean's upper back, leaning his considerable weight into the stretch. Now, this gives a good stretch to the back and chest muscles. Really should do this once a day. Oh, I would do it all day if I could, Barbara Jean sighed contently. Reba fanned herself with her hand, feeling completely overwhelmed by the sheer intimacy of the scene. Is this one of these, gyms that has the heat on real high? I am sweating. Jordan finally released the stretch and clapped his hands together. Okay. Oh, wow. Time for some weightlifting. Reba let out a loud exhale of relief. Oh, good. That is enough of that stretching. Jordan moved over to a bench press station, adjusting the heavy iron plates. Hello. Okay. Knock this out. Yeah, okay. All right. Barbara Jean agreed, hopping up from the mat and following him like a loyal puppy. Reba took one last look at the pair laughing together near the heavy weights. I think I have seen enough. Jordan turned back to her, wiping his brow with a small towel. So, what do you think? You have any interest in getting a personal trainer? Reba offered a tight, forced smile. Only if he takes me out to dinner first. Are you sure, Reba? Barbara Jean interjected, her voice filled with genuine enthusiasm. Seriously, this is one of the best relationships I have ever had. Reba cringed internally. Oh, I think Jordan has his hands full with you. Oh, you are a beginner, Reba, Jordan decided, assessing her fitness level with a quick glance. You will start with thought. He turned and shouted across the loud gym floor. Yeah, this is Reba. She seems a little tense. I would spend some extra time on the stretching. A massive, incredibly muscular woman named emerged from behind a row of treadmills. She looked at Reba with intense, unblinking eyes. Hey, get down there, I commanded, pointing at the mat with a thick finger. Reba quickly turned and practically ran for the exit, leaving the chaotic world of fitness far behind her. Chapter 5. Confessions in Flannel Pajamas. The sun was beginning to set by the time Reba returned home. The living room was quiet, save for the sound of the television playing softly in the corner. Brock was pacing the floor, practically wearing a groove into the carpet. The moment he heard the front door close, he sprinted into the hallway. So, did you see him? Brock demanded, grabbing Reba by the shoulders. What is he like? Is he little? Could I take him? Reba gently removed his hands from her shoulders, looking exhausted. He is big, but he is not as big as... Brock furrowed his brow, confused. So, what do you think? Is there something going on there? Reba walked into the kitchen and poured herself a tall glass of cold water. She took a long sip before turning to face her anxious ex-husband. Look, Brock, I was hoping that I could go down to the gym and check things out and come back and tell you that there is nothing to worry about. But Brock's face fell. That is it. Reba, come on. Okay. Reba relented, holding up a hand to stop his panic. I do not know if they're having an affair or not, but if they keep working out like that, they might be having a baby. Brock staggered backward, clutching his chest as if he had been shot. Man, I knew there was something going on. Before Reba could comfort him, the front door opened and Barbara Jean breezed in, radiating post-workout endorphins. Hey, everybody, Barbara Jean sang out cheerfully. I am here and I am saying, well, oh, hi, honey, Brock said, his voice dripping with venomous sarcasm. Barbara Jean stopped in her tracks, sensing the hostility in the room. Do not you hi, honey me. What are you talking about? Oh, man, Brock groaned, running his hands down his face. Did you honestly think that I would not find out about you and Jordan? Barbara Jean looked genuinely bewildered. What? We were working out. It was perfectly innocent. Brock turned to Reba, gesturing wildly. Reba, tell him what you saw. Reba took a step back, wanting no part of the impending explosion. I do not want to get involved. She said you are having an affair, Brock accused, pointing a trembling finger at his wife. Any more than I already am, Reba muttered under her breath, retreating to the safety of the living room sofa. Barbara Jean put her hands on her hips, her eyes flashing with righteous indignation. Okay, Jordan and I are not having an affair. He is gay. The silence that followed was absolute. Brock stared at her, his mouth opening and closing like a fish out of water. What? Brock finally squeaked out. Reba, do you honestly think I will let a straight man grab my breasts? Barbara Jean asked, turning her fiery gaze toward her friend. Brock's head snapped back toward Reba. Excuse me. He grabbed your breasts. Barbara Jean rolled her eyes in profound exasperation. He is gay. He was not touching them. He was arranging them. Carry on with your lives. She waved her hand dismissively, turning toward the kitchen. No, Reba, Barbara Jean continued, stopping in the doorway and turning back to face her. Everything is not fine. I had no idea you were so threatened by the new me, the slim waist, the toned legs, the fellas. Reba stood up, defending herself. The fellas? The girls. Oh, the puppies. I am not Threatened by you, Reba stated firmly. Really? Barbara Jean challenged, stepping closer. Yeah, then why did you go down to the gym? What, were you spying on me? Reba hesitated, the truth catching in her throat. No. Barbara Jean crossed her arms, waiting. Reba sighed, her shoulders slumping. Okay. Yes, I went down to the gym because I thought there was something going on between you and Jordan. Why would you think that? Barbara Jean asked, her voice softening slightly. Because you have changed, Reba admitted, the words tumbling out honestly. I have not, Barbara Jean protested immediately. Yes, you have, Reba insisted, her tone gentle but firm. Ever since you lost all that weight, you are pushy and obnoxious, and you always want to be the center of attention. From the hallway, a soft voice chimed in. Hello? I have always been that way. Brock and Reba both turned to look at the doorway, where Van had been quietly listening. He nodded solemnly. She kind of got a point there. Reba turned back to Barbara Jean. Yeah, well, something has changed, Barbara Jean. Barbara Jean looked down at her hands, her bravado finally crumbling. Yeah, the way you guys look at me. I am still the same Barbara Jean I always was. I am just less winded. Brock, feeling a sudden rush of guilt, stepped forward and took his wife's hand. I know she might be right. Could be us. I am sorry, honey. Reba just got me all worked up. Reba shot him a withering glare before stepping closer to Barbara Jean. That is, look, Barbara Jean. The truth is, I think I went down to the gym almost hoping that I would find you doing something wrong. You know, anything, so I could feel superior to you and your skinny butt. So, I am sorry. Barbara Jean looked up, her eyes wide with astonishment. So yeah, Reba nodded sadly. A massive, joyful smile broke across Barbara Jean's face. This is great. For the first time since we have known each other, you want to be me. Reba recoiled in horror. I do not want to be you. I know, Barbara Jean squealed, clapping her hands together. It is even better. You want to look like me. Reba threw her hands in the air in total defeat. Hey, where are you going? Barbara Jean called out as Reba headed for the door. Just going to go grab something to eat. Reba called back over her shoulder. I will see you next year. Upstairs, a different kind of resolution was taking place. Van was sitting on the edge of the bed, holding the television remote. He was staring blankly at the screen. Ben bounded into the room, hopping onto the mattress beside him. Hey, buddy, what are we watching? Van clicked the television off. No, we are not. Want a rock, paper, scissor for it. Ben grinned, holding up his fists. Let's go. They bounced their fists 3 times. Van formed a rock, and Ben formed paper. You're going to pick scissors, are not you? Van sighed, realizing he had finally been outsmarted by a child. Get out. Ben commanded playfully, pointing toward the door. Van chuckled, tossing the remote to the boy and walking out into the hallway. He bumped into Cheyenne, who was standing nervously near the top of the stairs, hiding something behind her back. Hey, honey. Van greeted her warmly. Hey, baby. Cheyenne replied softly. I need to talk to you. Van smiled, reaching for her waist. Oh, honey, I just got the television. Cheyenne stepped back, avoiding his embrace. Well, I started thinking that maybe you do not think of me as new pretty, because I do not do enough to keep your interest. Van's expression turned serious, his heart breaking slightly at her insecurity. No, honey, you were way hot. Guilty. But anyway, I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just keep things fresh. So, I bought a wig. She revealed a bright, platinum blonde wig from behind her back, holding it up nervously. Van reached out and gently took the artificial hair from her trembling hands. Cheyenne, put that down. Listen to me. He looked deeply into her eyes, his voice steady and full of genuine love. I think it is a good thing that when I look at you, I do not see the beautiful girl with the killer bod. I see my wife, and I am attracted to her. whether she is all dressed up, ready to go out, or just sitting on the couch wearing those washed-up flannel pajamas. Cheyenne sniffled, a tear tracing its way down her cheek. Really? Yeah, Van promised, pulling her close. You are beautiful to me because of who you are. Cheyenne rested her head against his chest, a soft sigh escaping her lips. I feel kind of stupid. Van kissed the top of her head. That is also who you are, and I love it. Come on, you. Where are we going? Cheyenne looked up at him, a mischievous sparkle returning to her eyes. Oh, we're going upstairs. Van grinned, wrapping his arm securely around her waist as they walked down the hallway together. Hold on. I thought you did not want me to leave you alone. Cheyenne laughed softly, the sound echoing lightly against the walls of their home. Sometimes I want to feel new pretty. The winds of change in the heart of Texas. The morning sun filtered through the sheer curtains of the suburban kitchen, casting long, golden shadows across the meticulously clean countertops. It was a typical Tuesday, or at least it should have been, but a distinct air of quiet devastation lingered in the room. The pantry door stood slightly ajar, revealing bare shelves that looked as though a sudden, localized hurricane had swept through them. Van stood with his hands on his hips, his eyes scanning the desolate landscape of the kitchen. Beside him stood young Ben, his expression a mix of awe and profound confusion. That woman is out of control, Van murmured, shaking his head in disbelief. His voice carried the weight of a man who had just witnessed a natural disaster. She is like a locust. She has eaten everything in the house. Ben nodded slowly, taking a step closer to the empty fruit bowl. She has eaten everything in Mr. H's house, too. Look. He pointed a small finger toward the center of the dining table. Even the salt and pepper shakers are empty. Van let out a heavy sigh, rubbing the back of his neck. The sheer volume of food that had vanished overnight was nothing short of miraculous, in a terrifying sort of way. Why do you not just tell her she has eaten too much? He asked, turning his gaze to the younger boy. You tell her. Ben's eyes widened in panic. The very thought of confronting the force of nature that was currently ravaging their food supply sent a shiver down his spine. No, you tell her, Ben countered quickly. He raised his fists, ready for the ultimate decider of fate. Rock, paper, scissors. Ben, you know you're going to lose. Not this time, Ben said, his voice filled with newfound determination. They pumped their fists in unison. 1, 2, 3. Van proudly displayed 2 extended fingers, while Ben's hand remained flat. Dang it! Ben groaned, dropping his hand in defeat. How do you always beat me? Van smirked, a twinkle of triumph in his eye. Because you always pick scissors. Ben crossed his arms, his lower lip protruding slightly in a pout. Of course I do, it is my system. So you will tell her? The reality of his victory suddenly dawned on Van, and the triumph faded from his face, replaced by a creeping dread. Yeah, fine, he muttered, before his courage completely failed him. No, I do not want to. You tell her. Ben pressed, sensing weakness. Come on, you tell her. Please, please, please. No, Ben, why should I tell her? Van argued, stepping back as if trying to physically distance himself from the responsibility. Because girls can say that kind of stuff without having come across like all they care about are looks. Ben reasoned, possessing a surprising amount of social awareness for his age. He paused, looking at Van with an earnest expression. By the way, you've been looking hot lately. Van could not help but smile, his vanity momentarily stroked. Oh, you. Before the debate could escalate any further, Reba entered the kitchen. She carried with her an aura of practical wisdom and the comforting scent of fresh laundry. She took one look at the 2 boys and immediately understood that some sort of domestic standoff was taking place. Look, sweetie, why do I not tell her? Reba offered, her voice a soothing balm to their rising panic. Thank you, Van exhaled, his shoulders dropping in relief. Just then, the back door swung open with a cheerful creak, and Reba's mother walked in, carrying a large, flat cardboard box that radiated heat and the unmistakable aroma of melted cheese and pepperoni. Hey, 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 she announced, a triumphant smile on her face. Guess who Luigi gave the free pizza to? Luigi does not have to roll it out of bed every morning. Reba looked at the pizza box, then back at her mother, a gentle sigh escaping her lips. You know, Mom, we really do not need another pizza. I mean, it is really just the three of us, Reba continued, trying to bring a sense of reason to the sudden influx of carbohydrates. Oh, I know, but I had to take it. It was free, her mother insisted, setting the box down on the table with a definitive thud. Somebody will eat it. Ben's eyes lit up instantly. Oh, dibs. Reba held up a hand, halting the impending pizza grab. A thought had been brewing in her mind all morning, sparked by the empty pantry and the overall lethargy that seemed to be settling over the household. You know what, Mom? Reba said, her tone shifting to one of resolve. I am thinking maybe we should all try and get a little healthier around here. Her mother looked at her as if she had just suggested they all start speaking Martian. What are you talking about? I am very healthy. Down the hallway, a commotion began to build. It sounded like a mix of frantic pacing and muffled shouting. It was Mr. H, deeply embroiled in a debate that seemed to involve coaxing an invisible entity to surrender. All right, that is it, Mrs. H, drop it. Drop it, Mrs. H, drop it. Drop it. Drop it. His voice echoed through the house, tinged with desperation. Drop it, Mrs. H. I cannot stand to see you do this to yourself. It is like you are trying to eat yourself to death. Why? What happened to you? What is different? The kitchen fell silent as they listened to the bizarre monologue. Before anyone could investigate, the front door burst open, bringing with it a gust of wind and an entirely new, astonishing presence. The revelation of Barbara Jean. You, I am here, and I am thin. The voice belonged to Barbara Jean, but the body it emanated from was entirely unrecognizable. She stood in the doorway, framed by the morning light, wearing a form-fitting outfit that accentuated a newly sculpted silhouette. The room collectively gasped. The woman who had previously been known for her soft edges and love of comfort food had transformed into a striking figure of fitness. Van blinked, trying to process the visual information. Yeah, thin as a stick and dumb as one, he mumbled under his breath, though his eyes remained fixed on her. Yikes, Reba whispered, her eyebrows rising toward her hairline. What is eating Cooper grape? Ben tilted his head, studying Barbara Jean and the doorway. Look at that. They look like the number 10. Reba closed her eyes tightly for a moment, hoping the visual would reset. Oh, thank God it was just a nightmare, she murmured to herself. But when she opened her eyes, Barbara Jean was still there, beaming with a radiance that could blind a pilot. You, I am here, and I am thin, Barbara Jean repeated, seemingly oblivious of the stunned silence greeting her. Reba sighed heavily, and the nightmare continues. The morning progressed, but the shock waves of Barbara Jean's transformation continued to ripple through the house. Reba found herself retreating to the kitchen, seeking solace in routine. She hummed a familiar tune to steady her nerves, the lyrics of her own life playing in her head. My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I want to be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops. With gentle hands and the heart of a fighter, I am a survivor. Ben wandered into the kitchen, his stomach rumbling a clear demand. Mom, make us some pancakes. Reba shook her head, pulling a blender onto the counter with a sense of purpose. No, I am making everyone a power smoothie, and this afternoon I am taking a power walk. Ben groaned, leaning against the counter. Power walk? Oh, forget your power cane. Van, that is not nice. Reba chastised, pouring an alarming amount of kale into the blender. Mom does aerobics. She could shatter her hip, Van pointed out, wandering in behind Ben. Reba leveled a stern look at him. And yet, in the blink of an eye, I can make you both homeless. The threat hung in the air for a brief, effective moment before the front door swung open again. Hey, everybody. I am here and I am... Oh, shut up and have a donut, Reba snapped, the stress of the morning finally fraying her patience. Barbara Jean walked in, looking at the bright green mixture swirling in the blender with an expression of profound pity. Oh, Reba, you are not still trying to lose weight by drinking those power smoothies, are you? Jordan, my trainer, says that those are loaded with hidden carbohydrates. Reba stopped the blender, her patience tested. Barbara Jean, I am all for adopting a healthy new lifestyle. But seriously, I mean, there has to be some sort of... She paused, noticing that Van and Ben were staring at Barbara Jean with unblinking intensity. Will you stop staring at her? What? Van asked, entirely unashamed. We have been staring at her for, the past 2 hours. Well, she is pretty, Ben stated matter-of-factly. Barbara Jean preened, smoothing her already smooth top. I am pretty. Well, of course you are, Reba said, trying to be supportive while fighting a rising tide of inexplicable annoyance. You have always been pretty, but she is new pretty. Oh, Van, that is such a funny story you can tell to your next wife, Reba retorted, her tone dripping with sarcasm. Barbara Jean ignored the sarcasm, turning to Van with eager eyes. Van, you really think that I am new pretty? Oh, yeah. Van nodded earnestly. You are like a bleached-out Halle Berry. Barbara Jean's smile widened into a blinding beam. Thank you. You are welcome, Van replied, giving a small nod. I am going to go make some calls. As Van left the room, Ben shifted his weight, looking up at Barbara Jean with innocent curiosity. So, Barbara Jean, yeah. Is it true that when you lose a bunch of weight, you want to do, bounce? Kabonte. Van! Cheyenne's voice rang out from the hallway, filled with indignation. She stormed into the kitchen, glaring at her husband who had just returned to fetch his mobile telephone. Van immediately recognized his misstep. He rushed over to Cheyenne, his hands raised in surrender. Oh, Cheyenne, do not be upset. You are still hot. He searched his mind for a compliment that would smooth things over. You are like a bleached-out Jan Brady. January Jan Brady. Cheyenne crossed her arms, unimpressed. I am Marcia. Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. With a huff, Cheyenne spun on her heel and marched upstairs, leaving a trail of hurt feelings in her wake. Barbara Jean, seemingly untouched by the domestic drama, turned her focus back to Reba. So, Reba, I got an idea. You should come down to the gymnasium and meet Jordan, my trainer. Seriously, he will change your life, she continued, her voice taking on a reverent tone. I mean, he is so much more than a personal trainer. He taught me how to work out and eat right. Reba poured the thick, green smoothie into a glass, eyeing suspiciously. We go over the clothes I'm going to wear, the movies I'm going to see. Barbara Jean gushed. Reba stopped, her brow furrowing. Whoa, the movies you're going to see? What does that have to do with you getting in shape? Oh, nothing. Barbara Jean waved a dismissive hand. We just have the same sense of humor. That Tim Allen just kills us. I mean, whether he is playing a dog or Santa Claus, you just buy it. So you will come meet Jordan? No, Reba said flatly, taking a tentative sip of her smoothie. She immediately regretted it. Oh, come on, Reba, Barbara Jean pleaded. I want my best girlfriend to meet my best boyfriend. She paused, her eyes widening in mock horror. Boyfriend? Oh, whoops. That came out wrong. Oh. Reba stared at her, unimpressed by the theatrical slip of the tongue. Well, thanks anyway, but I am just going to be here with my smoothie. She took another sip, grimacing. Delicious, just like fruit gravy. Just then, Brock walked into the kitchen, looking haggard. His eyes immediately found his wife. Oh, hey, Barbara Jean. Here you are. Listen, how would you like to go out and grab a quick lunch? Just the two of us. Barbara Jean looked at her watch, a slight frown touching her lips. Oh, honey, I cannot. I am going to the gymnasium. Brock's shoulders slumped. Well, cannot you skip it just this once? Come on. I will take you to that romantic French place you like so much. Really? Skip the gymnasium and eat French food? Barbara Jean scoffed, shaking her head. No confondu, brah. With a bright wave, she turned and breezed out of the house, leaving a cloud of expensive perfume and a very dejected husband behind. The seeds of doubt. Brock sank into a chair at the kitchen table, running a hand over his face. Man, she blew me off again. All she wants to do is go down to the gymnasium and spend time with Jordan, her trainer. Reba wiped down the counter. Try to remain neutral. Exactly. Frankly, I like the new, but the new attitude, not so much. Oh, that is really funny coming from the old, but Brock shot back defensively, immediately regretting his words. He sighed. Jordan is so great. Jordan is so toned and funny. Reba leaned against the counter. Well, I got news for you. Nobody is toned and funny. Rob, you're overreacting, Reba added, hoping to soothe his anxieties. Oh, really? Brock looked up, his eyes filled with paranoia. Yeah, I think she might be having an affair with this guy. Barbara Jean with her trainer? I mean, sure, he is probably a better man than you are, better looking and younger, but... Reba held up a hand. That is it. Reba, I need you to help me out. I want you to go down to the gymnasium and see if there's anything going on. You know, spy on him for me? Brock pleaded. No way, Reba replied instantly, shaking her head. You know, Barbara Jean may have a long list of faults, and I have that list if you need a copy, but she is nothing if not faithful. Yeah, right. Up until now, Brock argued, his voice tight with insecurity. But now that she is thin and hot, she has all kinds of options. Reba walked over and sat across from him. Look, Brock, if it is worrying you that much, be honest with her. Tell her how you feel. Tell her that you just need a hug every now and then. Brock rolled his eyes, throwing his hands up in the air. Oh, now there's a great idea. See? Why, since my competition is a macho, muscular dude, I should go the other way and appear all weak and whiny. He stood up, pacing the floor. Your solutions are ridiculous. Reba makes me to spy on those. Stupid. Hard to believe they are supposed to be good for you. Before Reba could formulate a response, Mr. H wandered back into the kitchen, dressed in a bright tracksuit, looking completely exhausted before even stepping outside. Hey, Mrs. H, you offer your power walk? Van called out from the living room. Man, I love old people, Van continued, his voice carrying easily into the kitchen. Power walking, moving along, swinging their arms, like there's a big sale for false teeth. Mr. H shook his head slowly. No, I am not going for my power walk. This whole physical thing is getting everybody acting wacko. What do you mean? Van asked, stepping into the doorway. Well, your dad thinks that the guy who gave Barbara Jean her new body is wanting to take a forespin. He probably does. Reba glared at him. What are you talking about? Guys are pigs, Mr. H declared with absolute certainty. They are dogs. They are all animals. They just care about hot women. They are hot dogs. He pointed a finger at Van. My point is that when you got a hot lady, you got to keep your guard up at all times. I used to, Van agreed softly. Cheyenne, having wandered back downstairs, heard this and felt a fresh wave of insecurity wash over her. You used to? Van panicked, realizing he had stepped into another trap. No, baby, do not take it like that. It is just that I have grown into a mature, stable individual. That is all. Cheyenne glared at him, her eyes flashing. Well, I do not like it. She stormed off once more. Brock sighed, rubbing his temples. Where have you been? He asked Reba, attempting to change the subject. I went to get something to eat, Reba replied, looking at the empty pizza box. So, Ben, you think that Brock might be right about this trainer? Reba asked the young boy, who had been quietly observing the chaos. Ben pondered the question for a moment. Sure, this guy could be hot for Barbara Jean, but since Barbara Jean is not looking to play, there is no problem. And it is obvious Barbara Jean is not looking. Why is this obvious? Brock demanded, eager for any shred of hope. 2 reasons, Ben stated, holding up 2 fingers. Barbara Jean is not good at keeping secrets, and she thinks of you as her best friend. If she were fooling around with this guy, she would be constantly talking about him to you. Heck, she would probably even want you to meet him. Brock and Reba exchanged a long, meaningful look. The silence stretched between them, thick with sudden realization. Meet him? Oh! Reba exclaimed, the pieces falling into place. She grabbed her purse in the chair and headed toward the door. Where are you going? Brock asked. Go down to the gymnasium with the rest of the wackos, Reba declared, opening the door. All right, Brock called after her, a spark of hope in his eyes. Well, keep those arms a-swinging. Undercover at the gymnasium was a symphony of clanking metal, rhythmic breathing, and pulsing electronic music. The air smelled of rubber flooring and intense dedication. Reba walked through the double doors, feeling entirely out of her element in her casual jeans and comfortable blouse. She navigated through the sea of perfectly sculpted bodies, moving on elliptical machines and lifting weights that looked impossibly heavy. Oh, hey, Reba, you came. Barbara Jean's bright voice cut through the background noise. Reba turned to see her standing near a row of mirrors, looking radiant in matching athletic wear. Yeah, Reba said, looking around nervously. Man, there's a lot of beautiful people around here. You should see them naked in the shower. A tall, incredibly muscular man with a perfectly chiseled jawline stepped out from behind a weight rack. He exuded confidence and the kind of health that seemed almost unnatural. Hey, he said, offering a bright, perfect smile. Jordan, Barbara Jean breathed, her voice filled with adoration. Hey, Reba replied cautiously. Ready to start, Barbara Jean? Jordan asked, his voice smooth and encouraging. Yeah, she nodded eagerly. Jordan looked her up and down approvingly. Hey, you look great in that outfit. Barbara Jean beamed. Oh, well, the other woman is getting kind of baggy. She gestured toward Reba with a conspiratorial giggle. Can you believe her? She did the impossible. She lost all that weight and kept these fellows. Oh. Okay, Jordan. Reba felt her cheeks warm with a mixture of embarrassment and irritation. Jordan, this is my friend, Reba. Barbara Jean introduced, finally remembering her manners. Hey, I am Jordan, he said, extending a strong, callous hand. I am Reba, she replied, shaking his hand and noting his firm grip. So are you going to join us, Reba? Jordan asked enthusiastically. Oh, I do not know, Reba stammered, taking a step back. I just think that me and my fellows will just watch for a while. Well, Reba, you're not going to get into shape by just watching, Jordan admonished gently, wagging a perfectly toned finger at her. You need to sweat a little. Yeah, but you guys have to understand, it has been a while since I've been in a gymnasium like this, and I do not think. Before Reba could finish her sentence, Jordan had moved behind Barbara Jean and began manipulating her limbs into a complex stretch. Reba stopped mid-sentence, her eyes widening. Hello. There, Jordan said, adjusting Barbara Jean's posture. That is all. Well, I do not like it, Ben declared, folding his arms. Reba stood up, carrying her empty glass to the sink. Where have you been? I went to get something to eat, Ben replied defensively. So, Ben, you think that Brock might be right about this trainer? Reba asked, turning to face him. Sure, this guy could be hot for Barbara Jean, but since Barbara Jean is not looking to play, there is no problem. Ben analyzed the situation with surprise and maturity. And it is obvious Barbara Jean is not looking. Why is this obvious? 2 reasons, Ben stated, holding up 2 fingers. Barbara Jean is not good at keeping secrets, and she thinks of you as her best friend. If she were fooling around with this guy, she would be constantly talking about him to you. Heck, she would probably even want you to meet him. Reba froze. The memory of Barbara Jean begging her to meet Jordan echoed loudly in her mind. Meet him? Oh, where are you going? Ben asked as Reba grabbed her keys from the counter. Go down to the gym with the rest of the wackos. Reba called back as she hurried out the door. All right, well, keep those arms a-swinging. Ben shouted after her. Chapter 4, The Investigation. The gym was a chaotic symphony of clanking metal, rhythmic electronic music, and heavy breathing. Bright fluorescent lights illuminated rows of mirrored walls, reflecting the sweaty, determined faces of dozens of people pushing their bodies to the absolute limit. Reba stepped cautiously onto the rubberized floor, feeling entirely out of place in her casual day clothes. Oh, hey, Reba. You came, a familiar voice chirped. Reba turned to see Barbara Jean, glowing with perspiration and wearing a brightly colored, form-fitting athletic outfit that Reba would never have dared to wear. Yeah, Reba replied, looking around the crowded room. Man, there are a lot of beautiful people around here. You should see them naked in the shower, Barbara Jean whispered conspiratorially, giggling loudly. Before Reba could respond to that horrifying image, a tall, incredibly muscular man approached them. His smile was blindingly white, and he moved with a fluid, confident grace that immediately made Reba understand Brock's insecurities. Hey, Jordan. Barbara Jean greeted him brightly. Hey, Jordan replied, his voice deep and smooth. Ready to start, Barbara Jean? Yeah, she nodded eagerly. Jordan looked her up and down approvingly. Hey, you look great in that outfit. Barbara Jean beamed, turning to Reba to gloat. Oh, well, the other woman is getting kind of baggy. Can you believe her? She did the impossible. She lost all that weight and kept these fellows. She gestured proudly to her chest. Oh. Reba coughed loudly, trying to interrupt the display. Okay, Jordan. Jordan, this is my friend, Reba. Jordan extended a large, calloused hand. Hey, I am Jordan. I am Reba, she replied, shaking his hand firmly. So you'll join us, Reba? Jordan asked, gesturing toward the open mat area. Oh, I do not know, Reba stammered, taking a step back. I just think that me and my fellows will just watch for a while. Jordan chuckled, a deep, resonant sound. Well, Reba, you're not going to get into shape by just watching. You need to sweat a little. Yeah, but you guys have got to understand, it has been a while since I've been in a gym like this, and I do not think. Reba started, but her voice trailed off as Jordan guided Barbara Jean onto the mat. Hello, there, Barbara Jean, you really are getting limber. Jordan praised as he began to assist her with a series of stretches. Reba watched in shock as Jordan manipulated Barbara Jean's limbs into positions that seemed entirely unnatural and highly intimate. Remember when you could not put your leg over my head? Jordan asked casually. Remember when I did not want to? Barbara Jean laughed. Reba stepped forward, her eyes wide with alarm. Is that legal? I mean necessary. Jordan looked up, not breaking his concentration. It is critical to stretch the muscles out before you exercise them. Yeah, otherwise, you could really hurt something. Turn over. Barbara Jean rolled onto her stomach, and Jordan knelt beside her. Reba, you need to watch this one. This one is my favorite. Jordan placed his hands carefully on Barbara Jean's back, pressing down gently but firmly. All right, now, this gives a good stretch to the back and chest muscles. Really should do this once a day. Oh, I would do it all day if I could, Barbara Jean moaned softly in relief. Reba felt a flush of heat rise to her cheeks. She tugged at the collar of her shirt. Is this one of these gyms that has the heat on real high? I am sweating. Okay. Jordan finally stepped back, clapping his hands together. Oh, wow. Time for some weightlifting. Reba exhaled deeply. Oh, good. That is enough of that stretching. Hello. Okay. As they moved toward the free weights, Reba watched them closely. They laughed together, shared inside jokes, and moved with a synchronized rhythm that suggested a deep, comfortable bond. It was undeniably suspicious. Knock this out. Yeah. Okay. All right. Jordan encouraged as Barbara Jean lifted a pair of dumbbells. You know, I think I have seen enough, Reba announced suddenly, grabbing her purse. Jordan turned to her, wiping his brow with a towel. So, what do you think? You have any interest in getting a personal trainer? Reba looked him straight in the eye. Only if he takes me out to dinner first. Barbara Jean rushed over, looking concerned. Are you sure, Reba? Seriously, this is one of the best relationships I have ever had. Reba felt a knot tighten in her stomach. Oh, I think Jordan has his hands full with you. Oh, you are a beginner, Reba, Barbara Jean insisted cheerfully. You will start with Dot. Dot. Yeah, this is Reba. She seems a little tense. I would spend some extra time on the stretching. A massive, imposing woman with muscles that rivaled a professional wrestler marched over, cracking her knuckles. Hey, get down there. Reba did not wait for another invitation. She turned and fled the gym, her mind racing with what she had just witnessed and how she was going to break the news to Brock. Chapter 5, The Truth and the Tears. When Reba returned to the house, Brock was pacing a hole in the living room rug. He spun around the moment the front door clicked shut. So, did you see him? What is he like? Is he little? Could I take him? Brock fired the questions in rapid succession, his fists clenched at his sides. Reba took a deep breath, dropping her purse on the sofa. He is big, but he is not as big as that. Brock frowned in confusion. So, what do you think? Is there something going on there? Reba crossed her arms, looking at her ex-husband with deep pity. Look, Brock, I was hoping that I could go down to the gym and check things out and come back and tell you that there is nothing to worry about. But Brock's face fell, all the color draining from his cheeks. That is it. Reba, come on. Okay. I do not know if they're having an affair or not, Reba continued gently. But if they keep working out like that, they might be having a baby. Brock groaned, burying his face in his hands. Man, I knew there was something going on. Before Reba could say another word to comfort him, the front door opened, and Barbara Jean breezed into the room, fresh from her shower and looking radiant. Hey, everybody. I am here, and I am saying, well... She stopped, noticing Brock's devastated expression. Oh, une... Brock lifted his head, his eyes blazing with hurt and anger. Do not you high honey me. Barbara Jean looked genuinely bewildered. What are you talking about? Oh, man, Brock scoffed, pacing away from her. Did you honestly think that I would not find out about you and Jordan? Barbara Jean's jaw dropped. What? We were working out. It was perfectly innocent. Brock turned to Reba, pointing an accusatory finger. Reba, tell him what you saw. Reba held up both hands in surrender, backing away toward the kitchen. I do not want to get involved. She said you are having an affair, Brock stated bluntly, staring directly at Barbara Jean. Barbara Jean let out a loud, incredulous laugh. Any more than I already am. Okay, Jordan and I are not having an affair. He is gay. The room fell completely silent. Brock stopped pacing, his mouth opening and closing silently like a fish out of water. Reba froze halfway to the kitchen, blinking in surprise. What? Brock managed to choke out. Reba, do you honestly think I will let a straight man grab my breasts? Barbara Jean asked, her tone deeply offended. Brock's head snapped toward Reba. Excuse me, he grabbed your breasts. He is gay, Barbara Jean reiterated firmly. He was not touching them. He was arranging them. Carry on with your lives. She turned and began to walk up the stairs, dismissing the entire drama with a wave of her hand. However, the tension in the room did not dissipate. Reba stood perfectly still, her mind whirling. She had been so ready to believe the worst. Why? No, Reba. Barbara Jean stopped halfway up the staircase and turned around, her voice surprisingly steady and quiet. Everything is not fine. I had no idea you were so threatened by the new me. Reba scoffed offensively. The slim waist, the toned legs, the fellows. The fellows? Brock asked, totally lost. The girls. Oh, the puppies, Barbara Jean clarified impatiently. She looked directly at Reba. I am not threatened by you. Really? Barbara Jean challenged, walking slowly back down the stairs. Yeah, then why did you go down to the gym? What, were you spying on me? Reba shifted uncomfortably, avoiding eye contact. No. She paused, the guilt finally breaking through her defensive exterior. Okay. Yes, I went down to the gym because I thought there was something going on between you and Jordan. Why would you think that? Barbara Jean asked, her voice cracking slightly with genuine hurt. Reba took a deep breath, preparing to unleash the frustration she had been harboring for weeks. Because you have changed. Ever since you lost all that weight, you are pushy and obnoxious. And you always want to be the center of attention. Hello? I have always been that way, Barbara Jean pointed out logically. Brock nodded slowly from the corner of the room. She kind of has a point there. Reba ignored him, stepping closer to Barbara Jean. Yeah, well, something has changed, Barbara Jean. Barbara Jean stood her ground, her expression softening into one of quiet understanding. Yeah, the way you guys look at me. I am still the same Barbara Jean I always was. I am just less winded. The words hung in the air, heavy and undeniable. Reba looked at her friend, truly looking at her, and realized the truth in her statement. Barbara Jean was loud, annoying, and overly dramatic. She always had been. The only thing that had changed was Reba's own perception, tainted by a sudden wave of inadequacy. I know she might be right, Reba whispered, staring at the floor. Could be us. Brock stepped forward, his shoulders slumping in defeat. I am sorry, honey. Reba just got me all worked up. That is... Reba started to defend herself, but stopped. It was time for absolute honesty. Look, Barbara Jean, the truth is I think I went down to the gym almost hoping that I would find you doing something wrong. Barbara Jean's eyes widened in surprise. You know, anything, so I could feel superior to you and your skinny butt. So, I am sorry. Sorry, Barbara Jean repeated softly. Yeah, Reba nodded, feeling a massive weight lift off her chest. Suddenly, a brilliant, blinding smile broke across Barbara Jean's face. She threw her hands in the air. This is great. For the first time since we have known each other, you want to be me. Reba recoiled, horrified by the conclusion. I do not want to be you. I know. Barbara Jean squealed, rushing forward to wrap Reba in a suffocating hug. It is even better. You want to look like me. Reba wriggled out of the embrace, shaking her head in utter disbelief at how the conversation had turned. Hey, where you going? Just gonna go grab something to eat, Reba muttered, heading for the front door. I will see you next year. Chapter 6. The True Meaning of Beauty. As the evening settled over the household, bringing a sense of calm after the storm of misunderstandings. The living room glowed with the soft blue light of the television. Ben sat on the floor, flipping through channels without any real interest. Van walked in, holding a bowl of popcorn. Hey, buddy, what are we watching? Ben tossed the remote onto the sofa. No, we are not. Want a rock, paper, scissor for it? Let us go. Van smiled, setting the bowl down and holding out his fist. You're going to pick scissors, are you not? Ben hesitated, his hand trembling slightly before he threw a shape. Get out, he yelled in frustration as Van's paper covered his rock. Before Van could celebrate his victory, the sound of soft footsteps on the stairs caught his attention. He turned to see Cheyenne, descending slowly, her head bowed. There was something different about her, but in the dim light, he could not quite tell what it was. Hey, honey, Van said, stepping away from the television. Hey, baby, I need to talk to you, Cheyenne whispered, her voice laced with vulnerability. "Oh, honey, I just got the TV," Van replied, gesturing toward the screen. Cheyenne stepped fully into the light, and Van gasped softly. She was wearing a brightly colored, stylish wig that completely altered her appearance. She looked beautiful, but she did not look like the girl he had fallen in love with. She twisted her fingers together nervously. "Well, I started thinking that maybe you do not think of me as new pretty because I do not do enough to keep your interest." Van's heart ached at her words. He stepped forward, taking her hands in his. "No, honey, you're way hot." "Guilty." "But anyway," Cheyenne continued, her voice trembling slightly, "I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just to keep things fresh. So, I bought a wig." Van reached up, gently lifting the artificial hair from her head. He let it fall to the floor, leaving her natural, beautiful hair to frame her face. "Cheyenne, put that down. Listen to me," Van said, his voice deep and entirely serious. He looked deeply into her eyes, making sure she heard every single word. "I think it is a good thing that when I look at you, I do not see the beautiful girl with the killer body. I see my wife." Cheyenne looked up at him, tears welling in her eyes. "And I am attracted to her, whether she is all dressed up, ready to go out, or just sitting on the couch wearing those washed-up flannel pajamas." Van continued, his thumb gently wiping away a stray tear from her cheek. "Really?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. "Yeah." Van nodded, a soft, loving smile spreading across his face. "You are beautiful to me because of who you are." Cheyenne threw her arms around his neck, burying her face in his shoulder. "I feel kind of stupid." Van wrapped his arms tightly around her waist, holding her close. "That is also who you are, and I love it. Come on, you." He took her hand, leading her toward the stairs. "Where are we going?" Cheyenne asked, a small smile finally breaking through her insecurity. "Oh, we're going upstairs," Van announced confidently. Cheyenne stopped, pulling back slightly with a playful glint in her eye. "Hold on. I thought you did not want me to leave you alone." Van pulled her close again, kissing her forehead gently. "Sometimes I want to feel new pretty." They laughed together, a quiet, intimate sound that echoed softly through the house. The day had been filled with chaos, jealousy, and ridiculous misunderstandings. But as the night fell, the simple truth remained. Beauty was not found in a gym, in a wig, or in the reflection of a mirror. It was found in the unwavering love and acceptance of the people who knew you best, flaws and all, and in a house as crazy as theirs. That kind of love was the only thing that truly mattered. The transformation of Mrs. H., a tale of family and fitness. Chapter 1, The Devoured Kitchen. The morning sun filtered through the kitchen windows, casting a warm, golden glow over a room that had recently been stripped of every conceivable edible item. The refrigerator hummed a quiet, mournful tune, guarding shelves that were completely barren. Even the pantry, usually bursting with snacks and cereals, echoed with emptiness. Van stood in the center of the kitchen, his hands resting on his hips as he surveyed the devastation. He shook his head in disbelief, looking over at his brother-in-law, Ben. "That woman is out of control," Van whispered, his voice carrying a mixture of awe and absolute terror. "She is like a locust. She has eaten everything in the house." Ben, leaning against the kitchen island, nodded slowly. He crossed his arms and let out a heavy sigh. "She has eaten everything in Mr. H's house, too. Look, even the salt and pepper shakers are empty." Van picked up the glass salt shaker, turning it upside down. Not a single grain fell. "Why do you not just tell her she has eaten too much?" Van asked, raising an eyebrow at the younger boy. "You tell her?" Ben took a step back, his eyes widening. "No, you tell her. Let us play rock, paper, scissors for it. Ben, you know you're going to lose." "Not this time," Ben said, his competitive spirit flaring. He held out his fist, bouncing it on his open palm. 1, 2, 3. Both boys revealed their hands. Ben held a solid, unyielding rock. Ben, as always, displayed 2 fingers forming a pair of scissors. Dang it! Ben shouted, dropping his hands to his sides. How you always beat me. Because you always pick scissors, Ben replied with triumphant grin. Of course I do. It is my system. Ben defended himself, though his shoulders slumped in defeat. Van patted him on the back. So you will tell her? Yeah, fine, Ben mumbled, looking at the floor. Then he looked up, panic setting in. No, I do not want to. You tell her, Ben urged, stepping back. Come on, you tell her, Ben pleaded, clasping his hands together. Please, please, please. No, Ben, why should I tell her? Ben asked, crossing his arms again. Because girls can say that kind of stuff without having come across like all they care about are looks. Ben reasoned, grasping at straws. He paused, looking at Van, trying to butter him up. By the way, you've been looking hot lately. Van smiled, flattered despite himself. Oh, you? Before the boys could continue their debate over who would face the formidable appetite of Mrs. H, the back door swung open. Reba walked in, carrying a large, flat cardboard box. The aroma of baked dough and melted cheese filled the empty kitchen. Look, sweetie, why do I not tell her? Reba said, overhearing the tail end of their conversation. She set the box down on the counter. Thank you. Hey, guess who Luigi gave the free pizza to? Luigi does not have to roll it out of bed every morning. Cheyenne walked into the room, rubbing the sleep from her eyes. She looked at the greasy box and sighed. You know, Mom, we really do not need another pizza. I mean, it is really just the 3 of us. Oh, I know, Reba replied, patting the top of the box. But I had to take it. It was free. Somebody will eat it. Ben's eyes lit up. Oh, dibs. Reba looked at the pizza, then at her family. A sudden wave of resolve washed over her. She pulled her hand away from the cardboard. You know what, Mom? I am thinking maybe we should all try and get a little healthier around here. Ben looked confused. What are you talking about? I am very healthy. Suddenly, a voice echoed from the hallway. All right, that is it, Mrs. H. Drop it. Drop it. Mrs. H. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Reba rushed to the doorway, looking down the hall. Drop it. Mrs. H. I cannot stand to see you do this to yourself. It is like you are trying to eat yourself to death. Why? What happened to you? What is different? Before anyone could answer, the front door burst open. Standing in the threshold was a woman who looked vaguely familiar, yet entirely transformed. It was Barbara Jean, but she was a fraction of her former size. She wore a bright, form-fitting athletic outfit and a radiant smile. Yoo-hoo, I am here, and I am thin, Barbara Jean announced, throwing her arms wide open. Van stared, his jaw dropping. Yeah, thin as a stick and dumb as one. Ben squinted at her legs. Yikes, what is eating Cooper grape? Look at that. They look like the number 10. Reba rubbed her temples, hoping she was still asleep. Oh, thank God it was just a nightmare. Yoo-hoo, I am here, and I am thin, Barbara Jean repeated, stepping further into the room, oblivious to the shock she was causing. And the nightmare continues, Reba muttered under her breath. Barbara Jean spun around, her energy boundless. She began to sing, her voice filling the quiet house. My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I want to be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I am a survivor. Ben covered his ears. Mom, make us some pancakes. Reba shook her head, marching over to the blender. No, I am making everyone a power smoothie. And this afternoon, I am taking a power walk. Van chuckled, leaning against the counter. Power walk? Oh, forget your power cane. Van, that is not nice, Cheyenne scolded her husband, gently slapping his arm. Mom does aerobics. She could shatter her hip, Van joked. And yet, in the blink of an eye, I can make you both homeless. Reba poured a thick, green concoction into a glass. Hey, everybody. I am here, and I am... Oh, shut up and have a donut, Van interrupted, laughing. Reba looked at Barbara Jean, who was currently doing lunges across the living room floor. Oh, Reba, you are not still trying to lose weight by drinking those power smoothies, are you? Jordan, my trainer, says that those are loaded with hidden carbohydrates. Reba glared at her glass of green sludge. Barbara Jean, I am all for adopting a healthy new lifestyle. But seriously, I mean, there has to be some sort of... She stopped, noticing Van staring openly at the new and improved Barbara Jean. Will you stop staring at her? What? Van asked, tearing his eyes away. We have been staring at her for, the past 2 hours. Well, she is pretty, Ben stated simply. I am pretty, Cheyenne said, her voice small, seeking validation. Well, of course you are, Reba said, rushing to comfort her daughter. You have always been pretty, but she is new pretty. Cheyenne crossed her arms, glaring at Van. Oh, Van, that is such a funny story you can tell to your next wife. Van realized his mistake and frantically tried to backtrack. Van, you really think that I am new pretty? Barbara Jean asked, striking a pose. Oh, yeah, Van blurted out. You are like a bleached-out Halle Berry. Barbara Jean beamed. Thank you. You are welcome, Van replied, completely missing his wife's furious expression. I'm going to go make some calls, Reba said, seeking an escape from the awkward tension filling the kitchen. Chapter 2, The Personal Trainer. Later that afternoon, the house was quieter. The shock of Barbara Jean's transformation had settled, but the ripples were still expanding. Van found himself alone with Barbara Jean in the living room. Curiosity, combined with his usual lack of a filter, got the better of him. So, Barbara Jean, Van started, shifting his weight from one foot to the other. Yeah, she replied, stretching her arms above her head. Is it true that when you lose a bunch of weight, you want to do, bounce? Bounce. Van made a crude bouncing motion with his hands. Von! Cheyenne shouted, coming down the stairs just in time to hear her husband's highly inappropriate question. Oh, Cheyenne, do not be upset, Van panicked, rushing to the staircase. You are still hot. You are like a bleached-out Jan Brady. Yanuari Jan Brady. Cheyenne's face fell. I am Marcia. Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. She turned around and stormed back up the stairs. Barbara Jean walked over to the kitchen island, where Reba was nursing her green smoothie. So, Reba, I got an idea. You should come down to the gym and meet Jordan, my trainer. Seriously, he will change your life. I mean, he is so much more than a personal trainer. He taught me how to work out and eat right. She leaned in closer, a dreamy expression on her face. We go over the clothes I'm going to wear, the movies I'm going to see. Reba raised an eyebrow over the rim of her glass. Whoa, the movies you're going to see? What does that have to do with you getting in shape? Oh, nothing. Barbara Jean dismissed the question with a wave of her hand. We just have the same sense of humor. That Tim Allen just kills us. I mean, whether he is playing a dog or Santa Claus, you just buy it. So you will come meet Jordan? No, Reba answered flatly. Oh, come on, Reba, Barbara Jean pleaded, pouting slightly. I want my best girlfriend to meet my best boyfriend. She gasped, covering her mouth with her hand. Boyfriend? Oh, whoops. That came out wrong. Oh, well, thanks anyway. But I am just going to be here with my smoothie. Reba took a slow, painful sip of the thick green liquid. Delicious, just like fruit gravy. Just then, Brock walked into the house, looking flustered. Oh, hey, Barbara Jean. Here you are. Listen, how would you like to go out and grab a quick lunch? Just the two of us. Oh, honey, I cannot, Barbara Jean said, grabbing her brightly colored gym bag. I am going to the gym. Brock's face fell. Well, cannot you skip it just this once? Come on. I will take you to that romantic French place you like so much. Really? Skip the gym and eat French food? Barbara Jean laughed as if he had just told a hilarious joke. No confondu, bras. With a bright wave, she marched out the front door. Brock stood staring at the closed door, his shoulders sagging. He turned to Reba, a deep frown etching lines onto his face. Man, she blew me off again. All she wants to do is go down to the gym and spend time with Jordan, her trainer. Exactly, Reba nodded. Frankly, I like the new, but the new attitude, not so much. Oh, that is really funny coming from the old, but Brock snapped defensively. Reba glared at him. Jordan is so great. Jordan is so toned and funny. Well, I got news for you. Nobody is toned and funny. Brock sighed, running a hand through his hair. Rob, you're overreacting. Oh, really? Brock paced the floor. Yeah, I think she might be having an affair with this guy. Reba nearly choked on her smoothie. Barbara Jean with her trainer? I mean, sure, he is probably a better man than you are, better looking and younger. But that is it, Brock interrupted, stepping closer to Reba. Reba, I need you to help me out. I want you to go down to the gym and see if there is anything going on. You know, spy on him for me. No way, Reba said, setting her glass down firmly. You know, Barbara Jean may have a long list of faults, and I have that list if you need a copy, but she is nothing if not faithful. Yeah, right, Brock scoffed. Up until now. But now that she is thin and hot, she has all kind of options. Reba softened her tone, seeing the genuine pain in her ex-husband's eyes. Look, Brock, if it is worrying you that much, be honest with her. Tell her how you feel. Tell her that you just need a hug every now and then. Brock rolled his eyes dramatically. Oh, now there's a great idea. See? Why, since my competition is a macho, muscular dude, I should go the other way and appear all weak and whiny. Your solutions are ridiculous. Reba makes me to spy on those. Stupid. He trailed off, pacing back and forth, clearly unwilling to accept emotional vulnerability as a solution. Chapter 3. Spies and Stretching. Out in the driveway, Van was waxing his car when he saw an elderly neighbor walking vigorously down the sidewalk, arms pumping high in the air. Hard to believe they are supposed to be good for you, Van muttered to himself. He called out, Hey, Mrs. H, you off your power walk? Man, I love old people. Power walking. Moving along, swinging their arms, like there's a big sale for false teeth. Inside the house, Reba was reconsidering Brock's frantic plea. The more she thought about Barbara Jean's strange slip of the tongue regarding the word boyfriend, the more her curiosity gnawed at her. She poured the remainder of the fruit gravy down the sink. No, I am not going for my power walk. This whole physical thing is getting everybody acting wacko. She walked into the living room where Cheyenne was sitting on the couch, flipping mindlessly through a magazine. What do you mean? Cheyenne asked without looking up. Well, your dad thinks that the guy who gave Barbara Jean her new body is wanting to take a forespin. Reba explained, leaning against the doorframe. He probably does, Van announced, walking in from the driveway and wiping grease from his hands with a rag. What are you talking about? Guys are pigs. They are dogs. They are all animals. They just care about hot women. They are hot dogs. Cheyenne glared at him. My point is that when you got a hot lady, you got to keep your guard up at all times. Van continued, oblivious to his wife's growing anger. I used to. Cheyenne slammed the magazine down on the coffee table. You used to? Van realized his error instantly. No, baby, do not take it like that. It is just that I have grown into a mature, stable individual. That is all. Well, I do not like it, Cheyenne yelled, standing up and storming out of the room. Reba mused, watching the dramatic exit. Brock walked back into the living room. looking hopeful. Where have you been? I went to get something to eat, Reba answered. So, Ben, you think that Brock might be right about this trainer? Ben, who had been quietly eating a piece of leftover pizza in the corner, shrugged. Sure, this guy could be hot for Barbara Jean, but since Barbara Jean is not looking to play, there is no problem. And it is obvious Barbara Jean is not looking. Why is this obvious? Brock asked, desperate for reassurance. 2 reasons, Ben stated, holding up his fingers. 1, Barbara Jean is not good at keeping secrets. And 2, she thinks of you as her best friend. Reba, if she were fooling around with this guy, she would be constantly talking about him to you. Heck, she would probably even want you to meet him. Reba froze. The words echoed in her mind. She wanted Reba to meet him. She had literally just begged Reba to meet him. Meet him? Oh! Reba gasped, grabbing her purse on the hook by the door. Where are you going? Brock asked, following her toward the hallway. Go down to the gym with the rest of the wackos, Reba declared, pulling open the front door. Brock smiled, a look of immense relief washing over his face. All right, well, keep those arms a-swinging. The gymnasium was a cacophony of clanking metal, rhythmic electronic music, and the heavy breathing of dozens of people pushing their physical limits. Reba walked through the glass doors, feeling entirely out of place in her casual denim and cotton blouse. She navigated through rows of gleaming treadmills and elaborate weight machines, trying to look inconspicuous. Man, there's a lot of beautiful people around here, Reba muttered to herself. Dodging a man built like a brick wall. You should see them naked in the shower. She finally spotted the bright, unmistakable spandex of Barbara Jean over by the stretching mats. Standing next to her was a tall, incredibly handsome man with a smile that could easily sell toothpaste on television. Reba took a deep breath and approached them. Hey! Jordan turned around, his smile widening. Hey! Barbara Jean looked up from her seated stretch, genuine surprise and joy illuminating her face. Ready to start, Barbara Jean? Jordan asked, his voice smooth and encouraging. Yeah. Barbara Jean said, hopping to her feet. She looked at Reba. Hey, you look great in that outfit. Oh, well, the other woman is getting kind of baggy. Reba deflected, feeling terribly self-conscious. She looked around the gym, taking in the muscular clientele. Can you believe her? She did the impossible. She lost all that weight and kept these fellas. A group of heavily muscled men walked past, grunting in unison. Oh. Okay, Jordan, Barbara Jean said, clapping her hands together. Jordan, this is my friend, Reba. Hey, I am Jordan, he said, extending a strong, callous hand. I am Reba, she replied, shaking it cautiously. So, you gonna join us, Reba? Jordan asked, his enthusiasm practically radiating from him. Oh, I do not know, Reba stammered, taking a step back. I just think that me and my fellows will just watch for a while. Well, Reba, you're not going to get into shape by just watching, Jordan encouraged her gently. You need to sweat a little. Yeah, but you guys got to understand, it has been a while since I've been in a gym like this. And I do not think. Before Reba could finish her excuse, Jordan moved behind Barbara Jean to assist her with a stretch. Hello, there, Barbara Jean. You really are getting limber. Remember when you could not put your leg over my head? Reba's eyes went wide. Remember when I did not want to? Barbara Jean laughed heartily, leaning back into the stretch. Reba watched in horror as the trainer maneuvered Barbara Jean into a highly compromising position, his hands seemingly everywhere at once to support her back and legs. Is that legal? Reba choked out, pointing a trembling finger. I mean necessary? It is critical to stretch the muscles out before you exercise them, Jordan explained calmly, completely unbothered by Reba's shock. Yeah, otherwise, you could really hurt something, Barbara Jean agreed, a slight strain in her voice as she held the pose. Turn over, Jordan instructed softly. Barbara Jean rolled onto her stomach. Jordan moved over her, placing his hands firmly on her lower back to push her into an arch position. Reba, you need to watch this one, Barbara Jean called out happily. This one is my favorite. All right, now, this gives a good stretch to the back and chest muscles, Jordan narrated, his hands moving upward to adjust her shoulders. Really should do this once a day. Oh, I would do it all day if I could, Barbara Jean sighed, melting into the stretch. Reba fanned her face with her hand, feeling completely overwhelmed by the blatant intimacy playing out on the blue vinyl mat. You know, is this one of these gyms that has the heat on real high? I am sweating. Okay. Oh, wow. Jordan finally stepped back, clapping his hands. Time for some weightlifting. Reba exhaled a massive sigh of relief. Oh, good. That is enough of that stretching. Hello. Okay. Knock this out. Yeah. Okay. All right. She watched as Barbara Jean moved to the dumbbells, lifting them with surprising ease. Reba backed away slowly. You know, I think I have seen enough. So, what do you think? Jordan asked, turning his dazzling smile back on Reba. You have any interest in getting a personal trainer? Reba looked at him, then at Barbara Jean, her mind racing. Only if he takes me out to dinner first. Are you sure, Reba? Barbara Jean asked, putting down the weights. Seriously, this is one of the best relationships I have ever had. Reba nodded vigorously. Oh, I think Jordan has his hands full with you. Oh, you are a beginner, Reba, Jordan noted. You will start with dot. Yeah, this is Reba. She seems a little tense. I would spend some extra time on the stretching. A massive woman, built like a professional wrestler with arms thicker than Reba's legs, stomped over. She did not smile. She simply pointed a massive, chalk-covered finger at the floor. Hey, get down there, barked. Reba did not wait to argue. She turned on her heel and practically sprinted out of the gymnasium. The image of the and the terrifying stretches burned into her memory. Chapter 4, Confrontation and Confession. Reba marched through her front door, her heart pounding against her ribs. Brock was pacing a trench into the living room rug. The moment he heard the door shut, he pounced. So did you see him? Brock demanded, his voice tight with anxiety. What is he like? Is he little? Could I take him? Reba dropped her purse on the sofa and looked at Brock with a mixture of pity and dread. He is big, but he is not as big as... So what do you think? Is there something going on there? Brock pressed, completely ignoring the reference to Dot. Reba took a deep breath, trying to organize the chaos in her mind. Look, Brock, I was hoping that I could go down to the gym and check things out and come back and tell you that there is nothing to worry about. But Brock's face contorted in agony. That is it. Reba, come on. Okay. Reba held up her hands to calm him down. I do not know if they're having an affair or not, but if they keep working out like that, they might be having a baby. Brock clutched his chest, sinking down onto the edge of the coffee table. Man, I knew there was something going on. At that precise moment, the front door swung open. Barbara Jean practically floated into the room, glowing with post-workout endorphins. Hey, everybody, Barbara Jean sang out cheerfully. I am here, and I am saying, well... She stopped, noticing the grave expressions on Reba and Brock's faces. Oh, hi, honey. Brock stood up abruptly, his posture rigid. Do not you hi honey me. Barbara Jean blinked in confusion. What are you talking about? Oh, man, Brock groaned, running his hands over his face. Did you honestly think that I would not find out about you and Jordan? Barbara Jean's jaw dropped. What? We were working out. It was perfectly innocent. Brock turned to Reba, pointing an accusing finger. Reba, tell him what you saw. Reba took a giant step backward toward the kitchen, desperate to escape the blast zone. I do not want to get involved. She said you are having an affair, Brock yelled, his voice echoing in the living room. Barbara Jean looked deeply offended, placing a hand over her heart. Any more than I already am? Okay, Jordan and I are not having an affair. He is gay. The room fell into absolute, stunned silence. Brock blinked, processing the information slowly. What? Barbara Jean turned to Reba, her hands on her hips. Reba, do you honestly think I will let a straight man grab my breasts? Brock choked on his own breath. Excuse me, he grabbed your breasts. He is gay, Barbara Jean repeated, enunciating clearly, as if speaking to a slow child. He was not touching them. He was arranging them. Carry on with your lives. She turned to walk toward the stairs, dismissing the entire dramatic confrontation. But Reba remained rooted to her spot, guilt washing over her. No, Reba. Barbara Jean stopped and turned around, her tone shifting from offensive to deeply hurt. Everything is not fine. I had no idea you were so threatened by the new me, the slim waist, the toned legs, the fellas. Reba frowned. The fellas. The girls, Barbara Jean clarified. Oh, the puppies. Reba straightened her spine. I am not threatened by you. Really? Barbara Jean challenged, taking a step toward her. Yeah. Then why did you go down to the gym? Barbara Jean demanded, her eyes narrowing. What were you spying on me? Reba looked at the floor, unable to meet her gaze. No. Okay. Yes, I went down to the gym because I thought there was something going on between you and Jordan. Why would you think that? Because you have changed, Reba admitted, her voice rising slightly. I have not, Barbara Jean protested defensively. Yes, you have, Reba countered, letting the frustration of the past few weeks spill out. Ever since you lost all that weight, you are pushy and obnoxious, and you always want to be the center of attention. Brock slowly raised his hand from the background. Hello? I have always been that way. Reba pointed at Brock without looking at him. She kind of got a point there. Yeah, well, something has changed, Barbara Jean. Barbara Jean crossed her arms, a look of profound realization settling over her features. Yeah, the way you guys look at me. I am still the same Barbara Jean I always was. I am just less winded. Silence descended on the room once more. The truth of her word hung heavily in the air. Reba sighed, the anger leaving her body like air escaping a balloon. I know she might be right. Could be us. Brock looked down, suitably chastised. I am sorry, honey. Reba just got me all worked up. That is... He trailed off, lacking the courage to finish the thought. Reba took a step toward Barbara Jean, her expression earnest and completely vulnerable. Look, Barbara Jean, the truth is, I think I went down to the gym almost hoping that I would find you doing something wrong. You know, anything, so I could feel superior to you and your skinny butt. So, I am sorry. Barbara Jean looked at her, processing confession. A slow, radiant smile spread across her face. Saudi? Yeah. Reba nodded sadly. This is great. Barbara Jean practically squealed, clapping her hands together in sheer delight. For the first time since we have known each other, you want to be me. Reba's eyes widened in horror. I do not want to be you. I know, Barbara Jean continued, completely ignoring the denial. It is even better. You want to look like me. Barbara Jean spun around and marched triumphantly toward the kitchen, leaving Reba standing in shock. Hey, where are you going? Reba called out after her. Just gonna go grab something to eat, Barbara Jean replied cheerfully over her shoulder. Reba rubbed her face with both hands, feeling entirely exhausted. I will see you next year. Chapter 5, True Beauty. Upstairs, the evening light cast long shadows across Cheyenne and Van's bedroom. Ben was sitting cross-legged on the floor, intensely focused on a video game playing on the small television screen. Van walked into the room, immediately drawn to the flickering screen. Hey, buddy, what are we watching? No, we are not, Ben replied, not taking his eyes off the digital battle. Want a rock, paper, scissors for it? Van challenged, holding up his fist. Let us go, Ben agreed reluctantly. You're going to pick scissors, are you not? Fantuntit. Get out. Ben yelled, losing his focus and losing his character in the game. Van laughed and walked out into the hallway, just as Cheyenne emerged from the bathroom. She was wearing her oversized, well-worn flannel pajamas. But perched on her head was a sleek, perfectly styled, and completely unnatural-looking blonde wig. Van stopped dead in his tracks. "Hey, honey." "Hey, baby," Cheyenne said softly, looking down at the carpet. "I need to talk to you." Van gestured vaguely at her head, completely bewildered. "Oh, honey, I just got the television." Cheyenne took a deep breath, her fingers nervously picking at the hem of her flannel shirt. "Well, I started thinking that maybe you do not think of me as new pretty because I do not do enough to keep your interest." Van's expression softened instantly. The jokes and the banter melted away, leaving only pure, genuine affection. "No, honey, you're way hot." "Guilty." "But anyway," Cheyenne continued, a slight tremor in her voice, "I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just to keep things fresh. So, I bought a wig." She reached up, adjusting the synthetic blonde hair self-consciously. Van stepped forward, his eyes full of warmth. He gently reached up and pulled the wig off her head, revealing her natural, beautiful hair. "Cheyenne, put that down. Listen to me." He tossed the wig onto a nearby chair and took both of her hands in his. "I think it is a good thing that when I look at you, I do not see the beautiful girl with the killer body. I see my wife." Cheyenne looked up into his eyes, searching for any sign of deception, but found only sincerity. "And I am attracted to her, whether she is all dressed up, ready to go out, or just sitting on the couch wearing those washed-up flannel pajamas." Van continued, his thumb gently stroking the back of her hand. Cheyenne's eyes filled with tears, a smile trembling on her lips. "Really?" "Yeah." Van nodded firmly. "You are beautiful to me because of who you are." Cheyenne let out a small, self-deprecating laugh. I feel kind of stupid." Van pulled her into a warm, tight embrace. "That is also who you are, and I love it." He kissed the top of her head, pulling back slightly to look at her glowing, happy face. "Come on, where are we going?" Cheyenne smiled, a mischievous glint in her eye. "Oh, we're going upstairs." Van grinned widely. "Hold on. I thought you did not want me to leave you alone." Cheyenne laughed, taking his hand and leading him down the hall. "Sometimes I want to feel new pretty." The morning sun filtered through the checkered curtains of the suburban kitchen, casting long, golden beams across a breakfast table that had, until very recently, been fully stocked. The atmosphere in the room, however, was far from the tranquil warmth the sunlight suggested. There was a palpable tension, a quiet desperation that lingered among the inhabitants of the house. Van stood near the kitchen island, his arms crossed over his chest, his brow furrowed in a mixture of awe and sheer terror. He stared at the empty cupboards, the barren refrigerator shelves, and finally at the small glass salt and pepper shakers resting in the center of the table. They were completely devoid of their crystalline and powdery contents. "That woman is out of control," Van whispered, leaning closer to his younger brother-in-law, Ben. His voice carried the gravity of a man reporting a natural disaster. "She is like a locust. She has eaten everything in the house." Ben, a young boy with sharp eyes and perpetually observant demeanor, nodded solemnly. He reached out and tapped the empty pepper shaker. It let out a hollow, pathetic clink. "She has eaten everything in Mr. H's house," Ben corrected, his tone laced with a profound sense of disbelief. "Look, even the salt and pepper shakers are empty." It was a phenomenon that defied the laws of physics and human digestion. Barbara Jean, a woman whose presence was usually announced by a cloud of floral perfume and an unyielding stream of cheerful chatter, had somehow managed to consume every edible morsel within a 50-foot radius. Van let out a heavy sigh, running a hand through his hair. "Why do not you just tell her she has eaten too much?" he suggested, trying to shift the burden of responsibility onto the youngest shoulders in the room. Ben scoffed. crossed his arms in a perfect mirror of Van's defensive posture. "You tell her?" "No, you tell her," Van countered, his voice rising in panic. The idea of confronting Barbara Jean about her newfound, insatiable appetite was terrifying. He held up his fist, a universal challenge recognized by men across the globe. Rock, paper, scissors. Ben rolled his eyes, recognizing futility of the ritual, but raising his fist nonetheless. "Ben, you know you're going to lose," Van stated with a confidence that bordered on arrogance. "Not this time," Ben muttered, his eyes narrowing in fierce determination. They pumped their fists in unison. 1, 2, 3. Ben's hand flattened into paper. Van's 2 fingers extended into the classic, undeniable shape of scissors. "Dang it!" Ben groaned, throwing his hands up in defeat. He stared at Van, genuinely perplexed by his terrible luck. "How do you always beat me?" A smug, triumphant smile spread across Van's face. It was a smile of a tactical genius who had just outsmarted his opponent on the battlefield of life. "Because you always pick scissors." "Of course I do," Van replied, his chest puffing out with pride. "It is my system." Ben sighed, rubbing his temples as if trying to ward off a sudden headache. "So you will tell her?" The triumphant smile vanished from Van's face instantly, replaced by a look of sheer dread. The reality of his victory crashed down upon him. Winning the game meant losing the war. "Yeah, fine," he mumbled, his shoulders slumping. He took a hesitant step toward the hallway, then stopped dead in his tracks. He turned back to Ben, his eyes wide with fear. "No, I do not want to." "You tell her," Ben insisted, sensing his opponent's weakness. "Come on, you tell her," Ben pleaded, his voice dropping an octave as he abandoned all pretense of dignity. "Please, please, please." Ben stood his ground. "No, Van, why should I tell her?" "Because girls can say that kind of stuff without having come across like all they care about are looks." Van argued, his logic convoluted, but delivered with absolute sincerity. He paused, looking at his wife, Cheyenne, who had just wandered into the kitchen, a vision of sleepy beauty in her morning robe. Hoping to deflect the conversation, and by some goodwill, Van offered her a bright, slightly desperate smile. "By the way, you've been looking hot lately." Cheyenne paused, her hand resting on the handle of the empty refrigerator. She offered him a soft, appreciative smile, the kind that spoke of years of affection and a deep understanding of his chaotic nature. "Oh, you." Reba, the matriarch of the house, stepped into the kitchen just in time to witness the tail end of the standoff. She carried herself with the weary grace of a woman who had seen it all and survived every bit of it. She took one look at Van's panic face and Ben's stubborn stance and sighed. "Look, sweetie, why did not I tell her?" Reba offered, her voice a soothing balm to the boy's frazzled nerves. Van exhaled a breath he felt he had been holding for an eternity. "Thank you." Chapter 2, The Phantom Pizza and the Nightmare. The front door swung open with a dramatic flourish, and the air in the house immediately shifted. The energy was electric, vibrating with an unsettling level of enthusiasm. "Hey, hey, hey!" Barbara Jean's voice echoed through the hallway before she even appeared in the kitchen. She marched in, carrying a large, flat cardboard box as if it were a trophy won in a glorious battle. Guess who Luigi gave the free pizza to? Luigi does not have to roll it out of bed every morning. Reba looked at the pizza box, then at the empty cupboards, and finally at Barbara Jean. The irony of bringing a massive, greasy pizza into a house that had just been stripped bare of all sustenance was not lost on her. "You know, Mom, we really do not need another pizza." Barbara Jean waved her hand dismissively, a gesture that brushed away all logic and reason. "I mean, it is really just the 3 of us." "Oh, I know, but I had to take it.